Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. I am back. Today, I'm not gonna play any games. I wasn't feeling like playing. I wanna watch stuff. So we're gonna do a little reaction stream where I'll be watching some things about whales. I've selected like 6 videos. Maybe I will add more. But I found like 6 videos about whales. And still, why not? Why not? Could be interesting, you know. We're gonna learn new things. Right before the stream, I was doing my NT dailies, and I you know the end game part. I tried to do this, and I was like, okay, I need more to level more my character, because like they're level 15, like with like their how is it called, abilities level up, skills, and like they have like weapons level up, and they have like the console thingies, and I just feel like maybe my team is very bad, like the team composition, or I don't have enough good characters yet. Because I'm having a really hard time clearing it. Yeah, we'll be watching whales. We're gonna watch whales. I was thinking maybe we could watch like aquarium stuff, but I was like, you know what? No, I wanna watch whales. I'm gonna watch whales, and aquarium will be for another time. Today it's whales. Are you going to learn about yourself? Yeah, I'm gonna learn things about myself. It's very important to know yourself. Alright, I also got a team for you when you get to Christmas. Really? There's already teams prepared? Did you ever want to be a marine biologist, Beto? I don't really know. I never thinking about it. Maybe. Could be interesting. Cause like, I don't know, when I was younger, I liked aquariums, but I wasn't thinking about like being somebody like working in an aquarium or anything. I was just thinking about animals in general. That's cool, and whales are cool, yeah. I don't want to get you into whales. I don't really know, like, was it? I think it was last year. During my birthday, I was sick, and I like watched a lot of like videos online. And then I saw like a video of like whales singing, and I was like, okay, I can put this to sleep. And then I was sleeping like 1 hour after. And then I started to get more interesting into watching more videos like this, and then I watched like facts about fish, aquariums and stuff even more. So I guess that's like this. And I got interested into whales. Let me check. Okay. The videos are on the side. La Crimson is fire type, by the way, if you remember. It's incantation type. Okay. I got Viking last time I was playing. Not today, but like last time. I think it was yesterday. I got this guy and I leveled him up, and I use it not in my team but like for the end game. He seems strong, but I don't think I have a team for him at all. Like, I'm just putting random character together and just let's go. Let's go. Okay, can change. Hi. Is my things okay? Open. Yeah. Oh, bro. Why is it? Why is the window capture so big? The window capture is like too big. Let me resize. Why is it? Okay. Why was it like this big? Yeah, he is strong but needs to be in the perfect team. That's why I got angry when him twice. He really likes you. Okay, the video is here. I'm gonna do a test of sound. Hello. I'm Totori. Ator. Okay. Ator. I misread.
The largest animal of our time and the largest animal that ever lived. And yes, that includes dinosaurs and other ocean giants like Megalodon and Mosasaur.
Is there like
exactly, and how they managed to become so
let's
large,
go.
that's what this episode will be about.
Let's go with the subtitles. bum bum. Fact in motions.
Granted, blue whales are probably not the longest animal of all time, but measuring relative size and length would be somewhat problematic given the various shapes and forms life on Earth has already produced. That would lead to misleading statements like pythons are with a length of over 7 meters or 23
Python
feet,
is 7 meters
larger than an
long.
African elephant.
That's what you.
While the
It
bootleg
was
worm
me.
is 55 meters or 180 feet, according to the Guinness
Bonk.
Book, the
Hi.
longest
Hello.
animal in the world is larger than
Hello.
every dinosaur. When comparing the size of many anatomically different animals, weight is therefore the easiest and most fair measurement to
What?
use.
Wait. Oh, they compare animals by weight and not by length. Interesting. I joined the Discord. Yeah, I saw. Welcome to the Discord. Weight is blue. I don't think that's the right value. Okay.
With that out of the way, let's begin to visualize just how big blue whales really are.
How big
Let's begin
it
with
really
an animal
is.
that everyone has seen before. A horse.
A horse,
is
of
good
course.
reference point. Depending on the type of horse, the weight of course varies quite significantly. But your typical Western horse weighs about 500 kilos or 1100 pounds, so about as much as 7 average humans. About twice as big, with a weight of 1 metric ton, is the American bison, the largest animal in North America.
Oh, wait. Whales and horses? Are whales even real? Whales are real. They are real. I used to love researching about whales when I was a kid. I even used to visit whale towers. It was fun. What is the whale tower? I never heard of it. What is a whale tower? Is that the tower of whales? I don't think that's the key. I don't think that's it. Stacking on whales. Whales on whales on whales. A tower of whales. No, it's a tower. Tower. Oh, museum. Oh, museum. Okay. I see. A museum.
Interestingly, of all the land animals, the bison is still relatively closely related to modern whales. They belong, just like the terrestrial ancestors of whales, to the order of even-hoofed animals, so mammals that bear their weight equally on 2, the third and the fourth, of their 5 toes. Other examples of even-hoofed animals are pigs, camels, deer, cattle, sheep, goats, giraffes, and most importantly, the hippo. These 1.5 metric ton animals are more closely related to whales than to any land animal. But the largest
Really?
living land animal is, of course,
Really? Huh?
These 1.5 metric ton animals are more closely related to whales than to any land animal. But the largest
Those are related to whales? Uma whales? Uma. Because biology is science, I guess. A season, I guess you mean science.
living land animal is, of course, the African bush elephant. Particularly big boats with a shoulder height of close to 4 meters or 13 feet can reach a weight of 8 metric tons, so about as much as 100 humans. Among the extinct
100
notable
humans.
examples in this weight class are animals like Stegosaurus and T-Rex. But when it comes to sheer size, one extraordinary group dominates: the sauropods.
Sauropods? What is a sauropod?
Dinosaurs were by far the largest land animals that ever lived.
Oh,
They
the big
include famous
dinosaurs.
examples like Diplodocus, with a length of 27 meters and a weight of roughly 60
I'm hiding it,
tons,
but there's
or
dinosaur
Brachiosaurus,
behind me.
whose weight is staggering 35 metric tons. But the largest sauropods, the Titanosaurs, were once again significantly larger. Patagotitan, for example, was an over 30-meter-long dinosaur with a weight of roughly 70 metric tons. Argentinosaurus, the biggest described titanosaur, weighed, according to the newest studies, even more than 80 metric tons, making it the largest
Pretty big.
dinosaur and
Pretty
the
big
largest land
dinosaurs.
animal
I
known
thought you
for
were a dinosaur.
uncontroversial
I'm not a dinosaur.
In the ocean, we have giant
Grrr.
which are with 6 metric tons, roughly as big as an African elephant, and the biggest of the dolphins. This makes them about twice as big as the pygmy right whale. This small whale from the Antarctic is the smallest of today's baleen whales, the
Baleen.
group to which blue whales belong. Roughly 4 times larger is the whale shark, which
The whale
is,
shark,
unlike
yeah, I
baleen
saw
whales, a harmless
some videos
silver
about
king.
whale shark.
With a weight of 12
They're
metric
pretty
tons,
big.
it is the largest shark, the
But
largest
they
fish,
seem to be so
and the largest
friendly.
animal on Earth
Why are
that
so
isn't a
big?
whale,
Why
at
not
least
cook
today.
them and put them
In the
like sheep?
past, there were of course fish and marine reptiles that were considerably bigger still. Mosasaurus, for example. These 15 metric ton reptiles were roughly 170 times heavier than today's Komodo dragon, and are the biggest lizards
Related to the
that ever
Komodo
lived.
dragon, like the
They were
lizard,
also one of
the
the
big
largest
lizard.
marine reptiles. In fact, only one group seemed to have exceeded them considerably in size, the ichthyosaurs. The largest described species had a length of 20 meters or 65 feet and a weight of 30 to 40 metric tons. Only one animal that lived in the ocean that wasn't a whale was still bigger. Megalodon. The largest specimens could possibly reach
The
a weight of
Megalodon.
50 to 60 metric
But
tons. About
we
as
don't
much
know
as
if
a
it
sperm
really
whale,
existed.
the biggest of the toothed whales. But
Yeah,
all these records on land
this
and in
type of
water are
whale.
dwarfed by one animal.
The
And
funny
with
name
that, we
whale.
have finally
Shark.
arrived at the
Shark
star
is
of
not a
this list, the
megalodon.
blue whale.
Shark is
With an
a
average length of
cherry
25
shark.
meters or 80 feet and an average weight of 110 metric tons, adult blue whales are already the largest animals that ever lived. However, they still can get considerably larger than that. Today, blue whales in the southern hemisphere live separated from those in the northern hemisphere.
Really?
Like
They
their
don't
northern
mix up
relatives,
anymore?
They spend the summer months in the food-rich polar regions and feed on the abundant and dense patches of krill found there to build up a thick layer of fat reserves for the winter. At the end of every
Fat
fall,
reserve.
they begin an up to 5,000 kilometer long migration into warmer but less rich subtropical and tropical waters where they breed and give birth. Because the seasons in the southern hemisphere are offset from those in the northern hemisphere, the migrations of the respective blue whale populations are similarly offset. Southern hemisphere blue whales are generally larger than northern hemisphere animals, and females are once more about 6% longer than males.
Okay, so the
Therefore,
biggest
if one wants to find an
blue whales
exceptionally large
are
whale, looking
where
for a
it's like
particularly old
hotter.
and well-fed female in the southern hemisphere at the end of summer is probably the best approach.
Females are
The
bigger,
longest whale
yeah.
by scientists was a female
I am
29.9
huge.
meters or 98 feet long that weighed about 180 metric tons and possibly could have reached a weight of about 210 metric tons during the late summer. The longest whales ever recorded were two females measuring 33.6 and 33.3 meters. or
33.
110 and 190.
I just wonder,
The weight of
how can they be sure about the size of the whale? Like, do they go underwater with like whale metric? Like, do they use like like meters or like measurement equipment underwater? I guess I can scan them. Interesting. Because, like, how can they be so sure about stuff?
such giants would most likely approach 250
They have
metric
submarines,
tons.
but they
These
not have
measurements,
like
however, should
their submarines are not like taking measurement of them, right? Because since what is since and boy the guy what are those? I don't know those. What does it mean? Are those real words? Science and biology. Sorry, I'm French. There's some way of writing words that I don't know.
be treated with a bit of caution at least, as they came from whalers,
A big
not scientists. Additionally, you can't verify them anymore, as commercial whaling in the last century decimated baleen populations and very probably removed most, if not all, of the super old blue whales out there. In the Arctic Ocean, blue whales were hunted until the 1970s, which reduced their population there by close to 99.9%.
Yeah, so many whales died because of people just hunting the whales and like killing them all for their meat and eating them. So English better than shirking listing. No. You know one thing you can realize that I'm not an English speaker native is because when I read I'm very slow. And I realize like when Shork is like reading stuff like on a game or like dialogues and stuff, I'm like, whoa. I wish I could be like her. Orca are eating baby whales, yeah, I know. I also learned about that like when a whale heard an orca sound, they like swim very fast to the location of the sound because they know it's like the orcas are hunting and they try to protect the prey because they want to revenge for their babies. Because you're trying to understand the meaning of the words. Yeah. I'm going very slowly on each word.
Globally, the blue whale population was reduced from 350 to 400,000 individuals at the turn of the 20th century to less than 5,000 60 years later. Even today, more than 50 years after blue whale hunting was banned internationally, they only managed a minor recovery, and only a few whales likely now exceed 30 meters or 100 feet in length. Still, even a 30-meter blue
sad.
whale weighs more than 2 Argentinosaurs, 3 megalodons, 5 brachiosaurs, 20 T-Rex, 25 African elephants, 350 horses, or
20
2300
T-Rex.
average humans. One reason that it is so hard to imagine just how large blue whales really are probably has to do with a lack of reference points in the ocean. If you were to put a blue whale next to an Airbus A320, one of the most common medium-range airliners, their size would become a lot more apparent. A similar comparison
Wait,
with a new
so
Tesla Model.
so a plane is like similar length to a very big whale. Wait, isn't there like a type of plane that is called the beluga? I think there is a type of plane called the beluga. Is that because of it? I know belugas are like smaller whales, but maybe, maybe it is because flying whales. They're flying the skies.
An NBA field,
And transport people
or the
on
space
their
shuttle would
back
make it even clearer.
toward their next
Blue whales are gigantic.
destination.
Of course, such a huge animal can also be expected to have some record-breaking organs. The heart, for instance, is the largest known in any animal. It is big enough that a human could stand in it, and weighs as much as a horse.
A huge
With each of
heart.
its 5 to 6 beats per minute, it pumps about 500 liters or 130 gallons of blood into the bloodstream. The aorta that transports the blood through the body is thick enough that a human could squeeze through it, and ensures that the roughly 8,000 liters or 2,000 gallons of blood the whale has reach even the furthest body parts, the penis for instance. On average around 2.5 meters or 8 feet long.
What is this fact? I don't wanna know this.
Is the largest in the animal kingdom.
I don't care.
Without individuals, it can even reach a length of up to 5 meters or 16 feet and a weight of half a metric ton. But
I don't care about those
facts.
facts.
The blue whale is its gigantic mouth, which allows it to take in huge volumes of water to filter for food. When feeding, blue whales dive below the surface to depths of 1 to 200 meters and then lunge into swarms of tiny krill above them at several meters per second. As they strike, they open their mouths at a wide, almost 90-degree angle, allowing tens of thousands of liters of prey-filled water to flow in. Dozens of parallel throat grooves that extend
that has a huge heart. Yeah, it's too big. It's bigger than my body.
Its own body weight in water, up to 200,000 liters or 50,000 gallons. Of course, that means that when feeding, the biggest blue whales temporarily weigh around 400 metric tons, more than
huge.
A 747. Because
like they when they are eating, like they are taking the like food. When they are taking their food, they are like twice bigger than their usual height. Watering the well. Okay, I'm gonna drink. Okay.
Initially has to actively control the flow of the water with its tongue and certain muscles in its jaw. After the jaws have closed around the engulfed water, it uses its giant tongue, which alone weighs as much as an African elephant, to force the water out again through a special comb-like structure on the upper jaw called baleen, filtering out everything edible, primarily of course krill. But small
Oh, that's why they have those kind of teeth, like those like very thin teeth. She need water, otherwise whales explode. Kaboom! Hello, hello, hello. Today I'm learning things about. We're watching like whales facts and whales videos today. No playing, just watching. So that's how that's a trick. No, technically, they're not drinking the water. They're just eating, like they're suppress the water by like pushing it through their belly. If I understand it right. So they're just eating the krill and not the water with it. They eat water. Crazy.
fish and squid too are sometimes inevitably caught that way. A human, however, couldn't be swallowed by a blue whale, despite its enormous size, as they can't swallow anything wider than a beach ball.
Wider than a beach ball. So if anybody have this fear getting eaten by a whale, it's not possible. A blue whale can't eat you. They doesn't have enough like space. They can't eat anybody.
The blue whale's technique of filter feeding is called lunge feeding, and is one reason for the incredible success
Lunge
of today's
feeding?
baleen whales. But this technique is only worth the effort when enough prey is available, as every lunge costs huge amounts of energy. Because opening its jaws is essentially like opening a big parachute underwater, it grinds the whale to an almost complete halt within seconds. That means for every new attempt, blue whales have to accelerate their massive bodies again, which costs up to 2000 calories. This is also thought to be the
That's
reason
using
why
a
blue
lot
whales
of
are only
energy
capable
just
of
to try to
relatively short
eat.
dives compared to other whales like sperm whales, for instance. However, if enough food is available, there's no better method to ensure quick and easy hunting success. A good catch can yield the whale half a ton of krill, 500,000 calories in one gulp. During a typical 10-minute dive,
Imagine getting that much calorie in one
up to 2 million calories
in one
worth
gulp.
of krill, or the equivalent of 6,600 cheeseburgers. A single dive can therefore provide enough food to cover the whale's daily energy requirement of 1.5 million calories. During the summer, they typically eat around 40 million krill a day, so roughly 3 to 4 metric tons. These 4 million calories allow the whale to build up the giant fat reserves it needs to survive the winter in the tropics, where they breed and give birth.
They breathe and give birth. Don't talk about that thing again, please.
Blue whales are enormous and the biggest in the animal kingdom. At birth, they are, with a length of 7 meters and a weight of
7 meters
300
babies.
pounds, already as big as an adult great white. Since they are mammals,
7 meters
blue whale calves
babies.
are nursed during the first few months of their lives. The milk they drink has a very high fat concentration of 30 to 50%, 10 times
Wait.
higher than that of human.
How do they give milk to the babies? Like they're in water. Aren't the milk dissolving in the water? Isn't it super hard to drink something in water? Their milk is very thick. I guess. They might be. I mean, there's a high percentage of fat, so maybe that's why.
Or cow milk, which gives it an almost toothpaste-like consistency. This has two reasons. On the one hand, it makes feeding underwater easier, as the milk doesn't easily dissolve into the water. On the other hand, it provides the necessary nutrients and energy the calf needs to quickly grow large enough to survive the challenging migrations. A calf drinks between 200 to 400 liters of milk a day. That's around 90 gallons. This allows it to grow at a rate unparalleled in the animal world. Nearly 100 kilos, 200 pounds do they gain per day. That's
Per day? Per day? per day. They grow like one big human per day. That's huge. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight for gain in a day. So you can feed a whale's cool. Really? A whale's cool? They're going to school and like, we're gonna teach them how to be a good whale. Step 1, how to be a good whale. uh, you should see it. It looked like planes refilling me there. Whale's cool view. Well, that's what is there. I don't have any.
Or 9 pounds per hour.
Mm-mm-mm.
By the time the calf is weaned, 7 to 9 months later, it will have reached a length of 15 meters or 50 feet and a weight between 20 to 25 metric tons, making it already larger than any other animal that isn't a whale.
Oh wait, I saw there is an ad break. Let's wait. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Because there is an ad break. Waiting, waiting. Waiting. Yeah. I'm gonna wait until the ad is done. So we can continue. Waiting for everybody to be okay and ready for more whale facts. It's just crazy to think that there's like huge, like very, very big animals. And I don't think you can even like know how big they are. Because like they're so big. Unless you see it yourself, you can't really like, I don't think you can really understand how big it is. I'm having a hard time imagining it. A big and big brain. A very big brain. Wait, is a whale in having some kind of intelligence or no? I don't know. I don't know if whales have known for having a big brain. We say that too, and shark are tiny, but really that too is gigantic. Shark is still tiny though. Yeah, shark is nothing compared to a blue whale. The size difference is very visible.
Of course, all these records raise the obvious question why and how blue whales became so large in the first place. Initially, it was believed that it simply must be easier underwater to reach such sizes, because ocean animals don't have to hold up their own weight, and that whales therefore continuously grew larger and larger over the course of their evolution.
Yeah, I feel like if humans were like an aquatic like species, I feel like we will be huge. We could have been huge. Giant underwater. Giant underwater species. That's it, the total picture of big sister. Yeah, I'm a big sister. Even in real life.
However, as we now know, this is not correct. While it is true that the weightlessness underwater allows an animal to grow much faster than on land, it isn't the reason they grow. In actuality, it is possibly even more difficult underwater to surpass a certain size threshold, due to the lack of said reasons. A certain body size is of course a strict requirement in marine mammals, primarily because of the increased heat loss underwater. Cold water drains heat away from the body 25 times faster than air. Smaller animals are more affected by this, because the smaller you are, the more your body's surface increases in relation to its volume.
Wait, isn't there... I'm just thinking, is there like... there is like most of like the cold water animals are like huge. Are that the reason why they're all big? because it's cold, so they need to be bigger to get like all the heat to keep the heat. Hi Tattoo and chat. May need to be now. We what? Okay. Well, fact, yeah, we're watching well facts and learning stuff today. I didn't want it to play, so I mean, I did play before stream, but like I did my dailies on NTE and then I stopped. I just I just didn't know what else I could do because like I don't really feel like playing anything. So we're watching stuff.
Evolving a large round body, paired with a thick layer of fat to insulate it, is an easy way to solve this problem effectively. Beyond that, however, increased size quickly becomes a problem, especially in the oceans. The biggest land animal.
What sport? A sport yesterday was fine. It's not like a crazy sport. It's like, you know, it's a place where like all the people goes to like do a little bit of sport. Like it's like 1 hour of sport, and usually it's only for old people. But I go there with my sister, my dad, and like there's also some other younger people that goes there. It's pretty good. You don't do crazy things, but you just like to stay in shape. Just simple sports stuff. What do you play? No, no, I don't play a sport. It's not playing a sport. It's like a session, like where you have to move around and like run and like do jumps and like um exercise for like walking on a straight line, uh front and backward, and like other exercise like squats and like dual exercise with other people at the same time, and different things. Ask it before you finish, lol. Guys, go to recreational center and work out basically. Yeah, that's where we go. Because we know the person that do the lesson. So we go there.
Today and in the past were almost exclusively herbivores. Plants make up the lion's share of Earth's biomass. They outweigh humans 10,000 to 1 and account for 80% of all biomass, thereby presenting an almost endless food supply for large land animals. In the oceans, however, their biomass is comparably small, and most of it is made up of microscopic algae, unusable for large fish or
Yeah,
marine
there is no
mammals.
there is
The evolution
almost
of
no
large body
plants
underwater
underwater.
therefore becomes a big energy management problem. How do you supply the additional body mass with enough fuel? On land, larger size means protection from predators, while plants provide an easy food source to supply the additional body weight with energy. Ideal conditions to increase in size. In the oceans, however, every large animal inevitably has to become a predator itself. For them, an excessive increase in size would more often than not create more problems than advantages. That is because, as they grow in length, their volume and consequently their energy demand
Drowning
grows
plants.
exponentially.
No, they're not drowning plants. There's like um some plants that exist in the water, but like it's like a small amount compared to what we have on the land.
The food demand similarly. At the same time, above a certain body mass, agility and speed start to decrease,
Fish
making
plants.
hunting more difficult. This paradox usually prevents ocean animals to grow beyond a certain point. The sweet spot for most marine mammals seem to be 500 kilos or 1100 pounds, and even for large
500 kilos. Sea cows. Sea cows, like cows underwater. Hello. Seals, like all the seals family. There's a I didn't thought there were that many type of seals, but there is. Like, but there is more whales. But the thing is, I feel like they're mixing the whales and the dolphins. Because, like, whales and dolphins aren't the same species, they're a different type.
Apex predators, like sharks, toothed whales, and most marine reptiles from the past, the
Oh,
maximum
they
weight
also
of a few
mix with
tons seemed
sharks,
to be
I
the
see.
norm, far from the enormous sizes baleen whales can reach. So what made these different? In general, exceptions from this rule are
Oh,
often
no,
the
no,
result of
they
very specific and unique
separated them.
conditions that are typically based on a fragile balance
Hello.
that can easily be destroyed and therefore often result in an evolutionary dead end. In whales, scientists believe gigantism is likely the result of two major factors. The first was the evolution of a new, more efficient way of feeding: filter feeding. Filtering tiny animals in bulk from the water,
They use a
like all
huge
baleen
amount
whales
of
do, has
food
one
in
major
like
advantage:
one moment.
energy efficiency. Instead of having to spend energy hunting a single prey item, energy that could be wasted if it escapes, blue whales simply glide through dense clouds of krill like aquatic combine harvesters. Due to the small size of the prey, it has no chance of escaping, guaranteeing a successful hunt while keeping the energy consumption comparably low. This makes filter feeding one of the most efficient feeding strategies underwater, as long as enough prey is available. Observations of the feeding habits of blue whales have shown that despite
Not
the
in the
relatively high
krilling.
initial outlay in energy, the result of their massive size, the whales typically regain up to 90 times as much energy as they spent. If a whale swims into a particularly dense swarm, it might even recover 1000 times more energy. Such a high efficiency is essential to surpass a certain size threshold.
They
It is no
eat more
coincidence
than they
that some of the
consume.
largest ocean animals today and from the past use this kind of strategy. However, the evolution of filter feeding alone doesn't explain the whale's high efficiency when hunting, or their gigantism in general. Baleen whales first evolved around 30 million years ago, and yet their size didn't significantly change over the next 25 million years. Even when their species diversity drastically increased 20 million years ago, reaching its maximum 5 million years ago, most baleen whales were only between 5 to 10 meters or 15 to 30 feet in length. In relative terms, certainly large, but compared to today's dimensions, rather small. Only during the last 3 million years, roughly with the start of the Pleistocene Ice Age, baleen whales suddenly began to grow rapidly, and up to 4 times independently from one another. At the same time, most of the smaller species went extinct, so that today even the smallest baleen whales are quite large compared to the typical whale prior to this event. This
So,
suggests
like,
that the drastic changes in the
what?
ocean's ecosystem
That mean there's like a huge amount of like whales we don't know because they all died because they were too small. Graph for whale money bank. It's not a money bank. It's like the the weight of each whales and like how big they get over time.
during the last ice age probably caused the gigantism in baleen whales. With the onset of the northern hemisphere glaciation, the oceans began to experience rapid fluctuations in sea levels. Drops of 50 to 100 meters, 150 to 300 feet, within a few thousand years became common and repeatedly destroyed or reduced the shallow tropical shelf areas that previously were the habitat of many baleen whale species.
Wait, sea level without glaciations. Land mass? So right now we're on the without glaciation, so the baleines can like live here on those places. But if we're on the glaciation period, those baleines weren't able to exist because it will be too cold, I guess. He will die quick, got it. No.
In addition to that, the final close of the Isthmus of Panama had disrupted the water circulation between the Pacific and the Atlantic, and had caused a drastic decline in planktonic productivity in the tropics, which furthermore impacted the baleen whale population negatively. All these factors likely drove the Caribbean-wide regional mass extinction between 4 and 2 million years ago, that killed, among others, many of the medium-sized baleen whale species.
They died, and no more whales.
At the same time, the
No more
continued
smaller
cooling of the
whales.
oceans resulted in a global shift in wind and ocean currents, which changed the way water and nutrients were distributed. As a result, intense seasonal upwellings paired with an accumulation of iron dust along the ice shelves produced variable and widely scattered zones of extreme planktonic productivity. Baleen whales had
Oh,
already
that's
the
for
right
the
tools to
plankton.
capitalize on this new
Okay.
and abundant food source, but it required a major shift in their lifestyle, a shift from a more sedentary to a migratory way of life. This sudden need for long-distance migration likely exerted a selective pressure on the remaining whale species to grow larger, as a larger size helps to travel long distances effectively and survive long periods of food scarcity. So, recent gigantism in whales is, most likely, linked to the appearance of a sudden seasonal abundance of widely scattered patches of prey that baleen whales, due to their unique feeding technique, were already able to take maximum advantage of. And once the unique conditions that allowed or required them to grow were actually met, it did so faster than any other group of animals in history. Even if you include the 25 million years during which baleen whales didn't significantly increase.
Then, wait. If there is more... Wait. If there is more food in the north because of the ice that melting, if there is more food for the baleen, for the whales, why are the northern whales smaller than the southern whales? Because they have more food in the north. Why would they be smaller? Plankton from SpongeBob, you don't know he's famous. Now we talk about the
In only
food.
5 million generations, they increased their body mass 5,000 times. In only 50 million years, the terrestrial ancestors of whales that were barely larger than a house cat evolved to be the largest animals the world has ever seen.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, they need to keep their heat. If not, they will die from freezing. No, but I'm talking about that they are smaller in the north. Usually, when you have more food, like more abundance of food, like a very good amount of food, you usually get bigger, not smaller. His PC is interesting, yeah. The first video is done. The next one. We can go on the smaller one. Cause like I have 3 that are longer and other that are smaller. Plus, the smaller you are in a cold place, you have a quite amount of body heat than being big. But didn't they say in the video that when you are in the north, you get bigger? Like there are a lot of bigger animals in the north? I have questions. But have you seen a man getting small when it's freezing? I think it's kind of the same process for whales. Maybe because they use more, what's it called? More energy, because it's freezing. And so to keep in heat, they have to consume more. So in the end, they lose more than they gain. That would be the reason why they are smaller. I don't know. They are burning more calories from staying warm. I see.
Blue whales are the largest animals to have ever existed. As long as about 3 school buses and as heavy as 15, Blue whales
15 school buses. That's very big. So being too big, maybe too difficult in the harsh environments. Yeah, I know, like, isn't it like all the species and like animals that were surviving the meteors and like the when they were the dinosaur memento and like meteor boom on planet and kaboom everything die. Only the smaller ones, only the smaller species survived. So technically, if you're smaller, you have more chance to survive.
even outsize the dinosaurs. The whale's marine habitat
You
contributes
need
to
your
their
stuff in the
exceptional
ocean
size.
survive.
The ocean provides more room to grow and eliminates one of the factors that usually hinder animal size: gravity.
Gravity.
Gravity
We're
limits
gonna
the size of land
fly.
animals to what their skeletons can support. The ocean's buoyancy spares marine mammals of this limitation, thereby allowing them to grow unlike any other animal. Blue whales have one of the loudest calls in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, I know
Measuring
that.
up to 188 decibels, their song can be loud enough to overpower the sounds of jackhammers and jet engines. The whales use their powerful
Very
songs
loud.
to communicate with each other, oftentimes from long distances. These vocalizations, which are deep moans and rhythmic low-frequency pulses, have been recorded from over 500 miles away.
Yeah, they have to communicate somehow,
A
so
blue whale's
their song
age
needs
can
to
be
be
determined by its earwax.
hearable.
About every 6 months, a new layer of earwax forms inside a whale's ear canal. The wax primarily serves to protect the ear canal and helps carry sound waves into the whale's inner ear. However, this buildup of wax layers, called an earplug, can be measured and used to estimate a whale.
An earplug. Whales build earplugs. I thought it was no, it's hair plug.
Whale's age, much like counting the rings in a tree trunk. The average lifespan of a blue whale is about 80 to 90 years, but the oldest one found, based on its waxy earplug count, was about 110 years old.
The oldest one? 110?
Blue whales can eat 4 tons of food a day. That's more than an African elephant weighs. Despite the whale's enormous size, their diet primarily consists
So many
of tiny
krills.
crustaceans called krill. The whales use their pouch-like lower jaws to scoop up swarms of thousands of krill floating in the water. The whales then push the water out of their mouths and through baleen bristles
this we
lining their
already
upper
know.
jaws.
Already saw
The
that
bristles
part.
are thin enough to let water through, but thick enough to catch krill. Whale baleen was often used in 19th century fashion.
Yeah, the corset thing.
Inaccurately referred to as whalebone, whale baleen is instead made of keratin, the same strong, flexible material found in fingernails. Keratin
Made
allows
of
baleen
fingernails.
to become an ideal material for structuring clothes, such as corsets, collars, hat brims, and hooped frames in skirts. Because of the high commercial value of baleen and other whale bodies,
Are corset annoying to wear? I don't know, I never wore any. I never wore any, I don't know. But I think they are. I know when some people grow too fast and like their colons, like the thing like keep them like getting like stand up, like, you know, the thing you have in your back. If it's like if you grow too fast, it can like deform, and so you have to wear corset to put it back to normal. So I think it's good to have to wear them when you grow up, but I I don't know long term. So Tato got a big mouse and wear corset? No, no. I guess you have to wear one and tell us. I don't have any. You can wear on you know it's for yeah, I know it's for male too, not only women. Like as I said, anyone that have like grown too fast, even male, get like have to wear them when they grow up, when if they grow up too fast. But it's usually only happen to women. I think most of the time it's happened to women. A back support to keep the back going straight and not having deformations.
Body parts, blue whales were nearly exterminated.
Bad.
Today, thankfully, global bans on whaling were put in place, allowing the species to slowly rebound.
Nice, nice. No more whaling. No more trying to capture and eat whales, please. So this one was a bit shorter. It was Blue Whale 101 by Nat Geo Wild. Even if they look yummy. No, it's not yummy. No eating. Don't you just get skin tears if I grow too fast? Not just that. If you really grow too fast, your bones can deform a little bit. Usually it's your back. And then you have a hard time walking. But fortunately, it didn't happen to me. Even though I grew up pretty fast, it didn't happen. The forbidden candy. No eating. Well, I guess I'm okay. Just got some skin tear on my arms. Yeah. It's like I had some skin tears on my legs, but like it disappear with time. It go back to like normal. It's just like when I grew up, I like a lot of them on my legs. Any growing pains? No, I didn't had any growing pains. I just like some part of my skin were like a bit thinner and some parts. Cause like I was growing a bit too fast for my skin. I'm losing weight too. I wasn't losing weight, I was gaining. See, got the one on my arms. I don't have any on arms, but on legs I do. Maybe you should. Nah. Nobody should do that. That's bad. Let's go with the next video that is what the biggest whale in the world is capable of.
You're floating in the middle of the open ocean when suddenly the largest
Just drinking beer.
creature ever to
Beer
exist
is
on this
bad
planet
too.
drifts by you, bigger than a megalodon.
Bigger than any dinosaur that ever touched this earth.
This is a blue whale. With
Blue whale.
400,000 pounds of mass
It's
displacing
mean.
that much water, the blue whale doesn't even need to touch you to knock you over. So, what is the
Yeah.
largest creature that has ever existed on this planet actually capable of? Well,
It's a
to
wild
understand
that though,
what this
yeah.
animal can actually do with this much mass, you first have to understand how big it actually is. Blue whales can be up to 200 tons and 100 feet long. The second biggest animal in the world, the fin whale, weighs about half of that. Don't get me wrong, half the weight of a blue whale is still gigantic, but blue whales are genuinely on another level of massive compared to literally anything else that exists on this planet. All
Can we ride on your back and you take us around the world? I don't think you will enjoy that. I don't think anybody will enjoy staying on the like for a very long time, like on the whale back. I don't know. I don't think it will be comfortable. Poor back, yeah, my back will suffer. I mean, if it's only one person, it should be okay. But like, after a certain point, I think the back will broke.
Whales, though, including blue whales, are mammals. They breathe air just like us. So if you put one on land, it would actually be able to breathe just fine. Except for the fact that its sheer weight would crush and kill it completely in under 10 minutes. See, living on land comes with a massive problem. Gravity. Every
Yeah,
single
gravity.
step
The
you
gravity is
take,
different.
Your skeleton is actively fighting gravity just to hold your structure up. For a human, or even
Like, what? We should tame whales and ride them like horses. I don't think you can tame a fish. I think they are like intelligent type of fish, like octopuses. I know octopus are like very intelligent, and you can like try to make them learn things, and they will remember stuff. But I don't think you can like train a whale.
an elephant, bone and muscle are strong enough to handle that downward pull. But when you weigh 400,000 pounds, you can see how this is an issue. The material that bone is made out of, which is bone, physically cannot support
Oh my god! An incredible fact! Bones are made about bones. Bones is bones. And the most incredible fact. That's funny. Back in the time they did try, but they always go deep water, where our body always poop, a poop pop. I misread. Where our body will always poop. Yeah, if we go too deep into the water, we poop. That's a problem.
an animal like a blue whale. Unless, of course, it doesn't have to support it. The ocean is essentially a giant zero-gravity simulator. Because water is dense, it provides buoyancy, and this upward force pushes against the whale, completely counteracting the downward pull of gravity. So essentially, their limiter is broken. You can get huge. But just because physics allows you to grow 100 feet long doesn't mean this is remotely practical. There is a reason why only one animal in the world has ever been able to even come close to reaching this size.
Yeah, those are pretty similar whales, but this one is like have a more blue-gray tint, and this one is like darker type. Have a bit differences, but they kinda look similar. It make a difference. There are bones, and then there are bones. Yeah, two different things. Well, but what if we kill and eat the whale, the refuse, and keep the one that listen, like we did with dogs? No. I don't eat meat. I don't eat fish. I don't eat egg. I'm not eating anything beside plants. Sadly, they need to go deep water. We need to go deep water. Let's go. We're gonna have a huge poop. a poop session. Well, if I see it correctly, he just has a healthy posture. Kinda. But I already had plants. No, I don't hate the plants. I have plants in my room that give me hair and like purifies my air. I just got it today to purify and help me have a better hair quality and like sleep better. I'm not hating plants. I just eat them. Finn would be the same size, but if the if the if the if the his lower back. Yeah, they're kind of similar. Plant is making your hair grow. Not the hair, the air, the atmosphere, the oxygen. It gives oxygen back during the night. Oxygen. Hair breathing. No, not my hair. I talk about oxygen. And like renewing the oxygen in my room and like purifying it.
If you weigh 400,000 pounds, you have a massive and immediate problem. You have to feed 400,000 pounds. Normal predators survive by hunting. A lion spots a zebra, sprints after it, takes it down, and eats it. A great white shark spots a seal, chases it, and bites it. But when you're as chunky as a commercial airplane, hunting
Commercial.
different.
We're chunky like a commercial airplane. You can fly into the air. Whee!
Difficult. Swimming through water requires energy, and if you've ever pushed your hand through a pool, you'd know water is incredibly dense. Now you're a blue whale, pushing 400,000 pounds through the ocean. This is going to burn a lot of calories. If a blue whale were to try and chase down giant squids or massive schools of fast-moving fish, the sheer act of sprinting and turning would burn more calories than they actually get from eating the prey. So, the largest creature in the entire world solves this by eating the smallest creature in the world. Blue whales survive almost entirely on krill. These are tiny shrimp-like crustaceans that are barely an inch long. They're actually bigger than some of the microscopic plankton, but still not big. Obviously though, a giant whale cannot hunt individual tiny shrimp. That'd be like a human chasing down grains of rice, which probably wouldn't be very effective.
Let's go, we have to hunt rice. Let's go. Let's hunt rice, pastas, and bread. 1 inches of rage. Oh, welcome to the hairline. Get ready to get on the plane. Yeah, I eat rice, not always. I eat most often pastas and rice.
So instead, a blue whale uses the most extreme, overpowered eating mechanism in the animal kingdom, lunge feeding. When a blue whale finds a massive swarm of krill, it won't bite it.
You're eating krill size,
its giant blubbery body towards that swarm, opens its mouth to an impossibly wide near 90-degree angle, and does something absolutely terrifying. The entire bottom half of the whale's jaw and throat is lined with deep folds of skin called ventral pleats. When the water hits the inside of their mouth, these pleats expand outward. A lot. In a matter of seconds, the whale's throat balloons out to consume a volume of water equal to its own body weight. We are talking about gulping down 20,000 gallons of water and millions of
75 liters of water? That's a lot of water. That's a lot of water. Water time. That's a daily water. I know I drink a lot of water daily, but I don't eat the 70 liters amount of water. Have you been a vegetarian for a long time? Yeah. Since I'm a kid. Since I'm a kid, I don't eat meat. I don't eat eggs. I don't eat fish. Do I make some sandwich or steak tomorrow? You eat whatever you want to eat. Whatever you want to make.
This amount of water weighs nearly as much as the whale itself. The ocean bends to the whale. Once the mouth closes, the whale uses that 60,000-pound elephant-sized tongue to push all that water back out through its baleen plates. These plates act like a giant filter. The water gets pushed out into the ocean, so it's not actually drinking 1 million gallons of water a day, and the millions of tiny krill get trapped inside. One single lunge can net the whale over 450,000 calories. They do this over and over again, consuming up to 8,000 pounds of krill every single day. This
Yeah, they use a huge amount of food. It's longer than me. I tried for a while, but I gave up. It's not the fact that it was like me wanting to be it. It's just like it happened. Like I was a kid. I didn't really like the texture of meat and fish, and I wasn't eating eggs because I really didn't like eggs. And then one day when I was a kid, like very young, and I asked my mother, "What is this? What is meat?" And I learned that meat is in fact dead animal, a corpse, eating corpses. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. When I see meat in my plate, I was seeing meat in my plate. I was like, I can't eat it. I could, if it were alive, it could be a friend, not food. Whales are underrated weapons. If you think about it, we will figure out how to implant new transmitter and control whales manually and breed the strongest whale. There will be monthly whale fights. Strongest survive. You can buy different breeds. What is this? No, why would people do that? That's not ethical. That's not ethical for the whales. They should be free. Well, why I just have a worst. Yeah. I can't eat meat because of this. If you want to know something, the last time I was forced to eat meat was like when I was in the middle school for like my internship, like for 1 week. I was like in my old elementary school, and like I had to eat with the teachers, my older teachers, and didn't wanted to eat at first, so I was able to skip like almost the full week of food, and I just eat it like random stuff I took from home. And then the last day, the teacher realized I never came to eat with them because I was always lying, saying I already eat it. You didn't see me, but I already eat it. And then they realized me, they forced me, and then I forced me eating everything I had in my plate. It was pasta with like, I think it was pork. I didn't finish my plate. I tried to remove all the like little pork thing in the plate, but it was so hard. I almost didn't eat, but what if I don't like that time. Can't make it at the same time. Can only make one at the same time. Which one should it be? Then make a sandwich. Sandwich are fast. You don't need to cook anything. You just eat. Didn't they have vegetarian option? No, it's like, you know, the old school, like it's like an old school, French school. It's a French school because I'm French. So I go to a French school, and though like it's pre-made food. It's like disgusting plates. And they're like only have two choices. We are already prepared food and mixing together, and you don't have a choice. Like you have only two choices. Like there were one where like it was rice with fish. I was like, no, no, thank you. I prefer to take the pasta where I could at least try to remove the pork, but it was hard. And so I guess that the last time I eat it like a bit of meat because I was forced to. French are weird. Yeah, it's disgusting. The food for kids is disgusting. Pork with pasta, yeah.
Sounds kind of insane, but this actually isn't that unique of a feeding method. Lots of other baleen whales use this filter feeding as well. It's just the scale on the blue whale is so large that it's complete chaos whenever it eats.
So, I know the question we're all thinking.
What would happen if this whale swallowed you?
No, they
Imagine
can't.
you're a deep-sea
They
diver
can't.
and you happen to be swimming right next to a dense swarm of krill. Suddenly, a blue whale accelerates out of nowhere because somehow you managed to not see the largest animal in the world, and it opens its mouth to begin the feeding. You get caught in the crossfire and the jaws snap shut around you. For hundreds of years, people thought either you'd get swallowed whole, drop into a cavernous stomach and slowly digest, or that you could somehow live inside the whale's stomach and set
How
up
you
a
know
little
that?
campfire.
What?
But
How you
this
know?
actually wouldn't happen. Despite having
How I know? Because we already watched like 2 videos about before it, where they talk about how the whales are feeding themselves. And like they keep saying like they have a small throat, so they can't eat a bigger thing than a ball.
the absolute largest mouth in the animal kingdom, a blue whale's throat is only about the size of a grapefruit. It is physically impossible for them to swallow you. So no, you aren't going into the stomach. Instead, you are just trapped inside the mouth.
That happened to someone not too long ago. A humpback whale swallowed someone but spat him out. Yeah, they don't eat them. They don't eat human. That is blue whales, you know. Yeah, I know everything about blue whales. I mean, not everything, I'm still learning. Yeah, hell, no, swallow just in, yeah, just in the mouth. They can't swallow, they can't eat you. You just be stuck for a little while in their mouth, and then they will put you back, like, will give you, get you back of their mouth. There is like cartoon where you have cartoon characters surviving inside these huge monster fishes. Like, yeah, they are wrong in the cartoons. I think at that time they didn't know that whales have like small throats. Must have been must have been scary. But if you know that they can't eat you, you feel like it's fine. I'm not gonna die. They're gonna put me back. No, like, don't worry. I'm not gonna do that to anybody. How does it feel being a blue whale? Nothing really. I'm just mixed. I'm a mixed of a blue whale and a human. As you can see. I'm a half. That of feeling blue. I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba da. I'm blue. Wait, that's a tail. Yeah, there's a tail. I have a tail. Look. I have a tail. Can you do tricks with the tails? What kind of tricks? It can move right now, it's moving. Like I can put it down. That's all. I'm gonna put myself smaller. And we go. Big tail, swim! You want me to swim? Wee wee wee. A weird way to swim. Wait, maybe I should be. Wait, if you want to see me swim, I should be like this. I'm swimming! I'm swimming! I'm swimming! Pew! Pew! I need to go back. Okay. You can rotate to left, spin dance on the head. I can't do that. I can rotate. But I can't dance. I can't do break dances. I can't do anything.
And honestly, this isn't to say that it's not even more terrifying. You're trapped in pitch blackness, and around you 200 tons of water sits rapidly draining out. When the blue whale's tongue, the tongue that weighs as much as an elephant, begins pushing upwards, it will force all the remaining water out the mouth and through the baleen plates. Eventually though, the whale is going to realise that a thrashing human is definitely not a krill. It can't eat you, and it doesn't want to. So it'll open its mouth and violently
no
spit
whale
you
wants
out
to eat
into
a
the
human.
freezing ocean. Realistically, there's actually a chance you'd survive this, but blue whales are so large that you might just get crushed or drowned from the sheer amount of water rushing in. Blue whales don't actually attack anything by swallowing things though, unless you're a krill. They aren't actually aggressive creatures at all, unless of course they need to be. If you look
Nobody's
at
a
the
krill
apex
here.
predators of the
Everything is
ocean,
fine.
They all have some sort of weapon. Great whites have rows of serrated teeth. Giant squids have hooked tentacles. Orcas bite and have advanced pack hunting tactics. A blue whale has blubber. It doesn't have any sharp teeth or claws or any bony armor. All they have is just being absolutely huge. Because the blue whale lacks traditional weapons, it relies entirely on sheer blunt force trauma, and its primary
Sheer
weapon
blunt
is
force
its tail.
trauma.
The tail or fluke of a blue whale is 25 feet wide. If a threat gets
Huge.
too close, the whale will lift that 25-foot slab of muscle and swing it. The kinetic energy generated
Swing.
by this is like the equivalent of getting hit by a school bus flung at you. There's really not
School
anything
bus.
in the animal kingdom, or really any kingdom, that can survive. Most predators on the ocean are fully aware of this. Even a pod of killer whales knows that getting caught on the receiving end of a blue whale's tail slap equals instant death. This is exactly why blue whales essentially have zero natural predators. Even elephants can get hunted by lions, but the scale of the blue whale is just so large that nothing even wants to try. You might just die accidentally if the blue whale flicks you. So all modern ocean predators are basically useless against them. But could anything in history have ever been enough to take this down? Let's put the blue whale up against the biggest shark ever, the megalodon. Megalodons average around 50 feet long, and their entire evolutionary purpose was to hunt down and kill giant whales. They had jaws wide enough to swallow a car, and teeth the
That's
size of your
huge
hand.
mouth.
Logically, the megalodon should be specifically designed to win this fight, right? Well, to be honest, we don't actually know, because these animals didn't ever exist at the same time. But we can almost guarantee something for sure. This fight would not be anywhere near as easy. Even at 50 feet long, a megalodon is only half the length of a fully grown blue whale. And in terms of weight, the whale is almost triple the mass of the shark. The early whales the megalodon hunted were big, but only around 30 feet big. But let's assume that a megalodon swims up and chomps down on a blue whale. A megalodon's teeth max out at around 7 inches long. A blue whale's blubber is over a foot thick. Obviously, this doesn't mean the blue whale is completely immune, but this isn't like hunting a normal baleen whale. So the shark bites down with the absolute strongest bite in planetary history, and its teeth literally did not even reach the whale's muscle. It just gets a mouthful of fat, and then the whale swings back. See, megalodons are sharks, which means they don't actually have true bones. Their entire skeleton is made completely out of cartilage. So if a 400-pound blue whale lands one solid 25-foot tail strike directly onto a megalodon, that cartilage skeleton is instantly caving in. The shark is dead. Realistically,
Dead.
this fight could
Kill the
possibly go
shark.
the other
Besides
way too,
Jane.
if the megalodon
I'm not
manages
killing
to strike and
Jane.
avoid getting struck. But this is likely a fight that a megalodon wouldn't even bother taking. It would just stare at the blue whale, think that absolute behemoth is not worth the risk, and move on with its day. Luckily for the blue whales though, they don't have to worry about this at all. Megalodons and any other large shark that hunted giant whales went extinct millions of years ago.
Got food for
And
a few days, I
realistically,
guess.
No single animal
Cheering
in the
her.
ocean
I'm
is
not-
taking down a blue whale
I'm
in
not-
a one-on-one
I'm
fight
not
today
killing
either.
her.
But they're still
She's not a
completely safe.
megalodon.
Not
She's
from predators, but
she's
from
inspired by
something
the lemon
less
shark.
visible.
She's a
Plastic
cherry
pollution
shark.
is quietly working its way into every part of our oceans, from massive debris floating on the surface to microplastics that are now being found in marine life itself. It's one of those problems that feels almost too big to even think about. Like, what difference could one person actually make? Well, that's where my friends at Planet Wild come in, who have actually done a project to help protect blue whales. I joined Planet Wild myself, and if you didn't know them, they're basically a community of over 20,000 members that fund real, on-the-ground missions to restore nature around the world. Kinda like crowdfunding
Nice.
for the environment. Each month, we as a community support a new mission, and they document everything on YouTube so you can actually see where your impact is going within 30 days. As mentioned earlier, one of their missions helped fund research on blue whales, using drone technology to study how these enormous animals actually live in the wild. And as a guy who's literally making videos on blue whales for you right now, you can probably see how I'm a pretty big fan of them. If you want to make a real impact, you can join, choose whatever membership amount feels right for you, and cancel anytime. And the first 100 people who sign up using my code BLUE4 covered on me. Scan the QR description. First, check out their blue whale mission link below. Be the killer whale. And even then, it's
He's
not
your
really a
biggest
threat in the
fan.
normal sense. Killer whales don't rely on raw size or bite force to
He
take
likes
down
blue
massive
whales.
prey. They rely on being hyper-intelligent, highly coordinated, and completely relentless. They hunt in packs, communicating, strategizing, and exhausting their targets. And yes, they do attempt to hunt the blue whales. Just the babies. When a pod
Yeah,
spots
just
the
the
blue whale,
babies.
they just start jumping it. They will bite at the blue whale's fins, try to cover its blowhole to drown it, and rip off chunks of blubber to slowly bleed it out. Against almost any other whale on Earth, this works flawlessly. But the blue whale has a completely
They're
different
baby eaters.
response. When it realizes it's being hunted, it doesn't turn around to fight. It just starts swimming. It powers forward, dragging the orcas straight along with it. The orcas will literally latch onto the whale's fins to try and weigh the behemoth down. But the blue whale just completely ignores them. It keeps swimming, pulling the weight of several killer whales through the ocean at high speed. And it will continue doing this for as long as it needs to, just relentlessly pushing forward until the orcas use their extremely high intelligence to calculate, dude, we can't kill this thing. So they give up
Dude,
and swim away.
we can't kill
But this
this.
raises a really interesting point. If the blue whale is too big for the megalodon and has way too much stamina for orcas, why does it stop at 100 feet long? Why aren't there 200 foot or even 500 foot whales? It's easy to think that because there's so much open space in the ocean, an animal could just keep growing forever. But eventually, biology hits a limit, and the blue whale essentially is that limit. There's some rules in the basic laws of physics that stop things from getting much bigger, at least on our planet. And the first rule is just food. Blue
Food.
whales survive entirely by swallowing massive swarms of tiny krill.
Yeah, there's not
but
enough
there are only
food.
so many swarms that exist. If a whale was 200 feet long, its daily calorie requirement would be so astronomically high that the ocean simply couldn't produce enough food in one place to feed it. Remember that a 200-foot whale doesn't just need twice as many calories because we live in a three-dimensional world. It's going to need a lot more. But even if there was infinite food, there's a second problem.
There's not enough
Oxygen.
food.
Remember, blue whales are mammals. They don't have gills, so they have to hold their breath and dive. When you are a 100-foot long animal, pumping oxygen from your lungs all the way down to your tail takes a massive toll on your heart. If you double that size, your heart physically cannot push blood through miles of blood vessels fast enough. Your muscles would literally start suffocating just from a dive. And finally, there's the actual physics of flesh and bone. Yes, I know I mentioned that water makes them essentially weightless, so gravity isn't crushing them. But mass is still mass. Trying to propel hundreds of thousands of pounds of blubber through the water requires an absurd amount of force. If a whale got much larger, its muscles and tendons would literally start tearing themselves apart just trying to swing its own tail. Flesh can only handle so much mechanical stress before it just breaks. The blue whale hasn't just randomly stopped growing at 100 feet. It has hit the absolute maximum threshold of what physics on planet Earth will actually allow. Nature
So
perfectly
we can't
optimized this
have
creature
a
to the
bigger
very
blue
limits
whale
of
than the
reality,
33
which is kind of
meters.
cool to think about. But realistically, it also means we won't see any absolute monster mega whales anytime soon. At least not on this planet. It's interesting, because being this size is the only reason it's even possible in the first place for a mammal to survive in Antarctica. If you or I jumped into the Antarctic Ocean, our bodies would shut down in a matter of minutes. Water pulls heat away from the body about 25 times faster than air does, so freezing water is basically an instant death sentence for any warm-blooded animal. And blue whales are warm-blooded mammals. They need to maintain a core body temperature of around 98 degrees Fahrenheit, almost exactly the same as us. So when they dive into polar oceans to feed, they should theoretically freeze to death immediately. But evolution gave them...
They have the same temperatures as us? I didn't know. I learned something. That was the best. Yeah. She learned blue whales are blue. Oh, that's the best new things I learned today. Blue whales are not blue. You know, blue whales are not really blue. They're more like grayish color. And since they are underwater, they seems a bit more blue. You mean you got the same temp as us? Yeah. Bum bum bum.
Completely ridiculous solution to this problem. That same foot-thick layer of blubber that would stop a megalodon's teeth isn't actually only there for armor. It's just a giant winter coat. It completely, or well mostly, traps the whale's internal body heat inside, blocking the freezing ocean water from ever reaching its vital organs. In fact, this blubber is so incredibly effective at trapping heat that the blue whale actually developed the exact opposite problem. When a blue whale is swimming fast, its massive muscles generate a ton of internal heat, and because the blubber traps it all inside, the whale actually risks overheating in water that is literally below freezing. So
Overeating when the water is freezing. That's crazy. So that all hugs would be warm. Current, I don't know, cause my hands are cold. I'm usually colder. I'm a bit colder than usual. I don't think I would be warm. You're in the Arctic? Yeah. Thanks for the sub. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. That's very kind. Welcome again to the Puddle Jumpers. Scary ads? You got what is your ads? What is the scary ad? What did you got? What type of ads is it? Cool, that though. You got hands, a wealth of hands. Yeah. Oh wait, it's look. I have a hand. I have a hand. I can say hello. Hi. Scary in general. Oh, I see, I see. Hi. I can say hi. So yes, I do have hands.
to survive, the whale essentially has to use fins as radiators. It pumps warm blood directly to the surface of its skin where its blubber is thinner, letting the ocean water cool its blood down before circulating it back into its core. So the blubber perfectly solves the freezing issue. But again, as much as we'd like to think about how cool it'd be if giant monsters ran in the world, there's so many reasons why we would see so few animals reach this big. There's so many impracticalities to a gigantic body, and it would never just be able to scale up normally like a 50-foot tall human. And it's the exact reason why a blue whale's heart has to be really weird. With a body this big, you move a lot of mass. When you move a lot of mass, you use a lot of energy. And when you use a lot of energy, you need a lot of oxygen. For a normal animal, burning this much energy underwater means your heart rate would skyrocket. You would burn through your oxygen reserves immediately, and you would drown. When it goes into a deep dive...
Even the animals in the water have like low blood pressure, like they have like their heart's a bit like 10 times per minute or something like this. Like very, very low. Wish there was Leviathan. There is no Leviathan. Breathe it though. I'm breathing.
Its golf cart-sized heart just stops. The whale consciously drops its heart rate all the way down to just 2 beats per minute.
2 bits.
There are up to 30 seconds of complete dead silence between every single heartbeat. It shuts off blood flow to certain parts of its body, reserving all the remaining oxygen purely for its brain and vital swimming muscles. Essentially,
2. I thought it was 10. I thought it was 10, but no, it's 2. Crazy.
all that's needed for the dive. Back at the surface, the whale usually has a much more normal 40 beats per minute, but this is really all just to show one thing. Being a giant is not easy. I know I'm making it sound like being a giant is just an endless struggle of...
No, not 2 hours. 2 BPM per minute. For a whale when it's diving. But if it's on the surface, it goes to 40 BPM. That's what they said.
Overheating, drowning, starving, and whatever else. But it does come with some pretty crazy perks. Yes, a blue whale can accidentally crush you with its tail, but reaching this size also unlocks some giant-only superpowers. You know how the Hulk can clap its hands together and create a giant shockwave? Well, the blue whale can essentially do that too. Except they don't use their hands, because they don't have hands. Those fins are not going to be able to...
Wait, then what do I have? I do have hands. I don't understand. What am I?
clap. They just use their voice. When we think of loud animals, we usually think of a lion roaring or a monkey screaming. A jet engine taking off is about 140 decibels, which is loud enough to permanently damage human hearing in seconds. A blue whale's call hits 188 decibels. This is so violently loud that it crosses the line from sound into actual physical damage. Water is much denser than air, which means sound waves travel faster and hit much harder. If you were swimming directly next to a blue whale when it decided to let out a maximum volume call, the sheer physical force of the sound waves vibrating is enough to physically damage you. Your eardrums could rupture, and while you probably wouldn't instantly die, you could get so disorientated that you could drown. Yes, the whale just needs to yap to kill you. This would...
Yap, 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 yap. And then everybody die. Is that why she's so good at singing? Maybe. 88, 140, what? That's where that gets it from. Be careful, I can kill with my voice. Got sandwich with double cheese in the making. Nice, nice. Have a nice meal. This is a great yapper. Yap, 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 yap.
Would only be possible at a super close range though, so don't be afraid that randomly in the ocean, a blue whale will suddenly just make some sounds and you'll instantly go deaf. You definitely see the whale coming. And also, whales obviously aren't swimming around just trying to kill random scuba divers. So what is the actual biological purpose of producing a sound this violently loud? Finding a mate is the most important goal for any living species. But if you are a blue whale,
not for me.
Your habitat is the open ocean, which contains hundreds of millions of cubic miles of water. The statistical probability of you just accidentally bumping into another blue whale while blindly swimming through the abyss is practically zero. So whales use their Hulk voice and call through a layer in the ocean called the deep sound channel. Because of specific temperatures and pressures in the deep sea, there is a distinct layer of water where sound waves get trapped. Instead of scattering in every direction and fading away, the sound waves just bounce off this layer horizontally, almost without losing any energy at all. A blue whale swimming off the coast of New York could possibly communicate with another blue whale sitting in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Of course,
interesting.
Need perfect conditions, but this channel does let them coordinate breeding across insane distances. I guess this is their replacement since they're too big to text with iPhones.
That's the smartphone. Ocean places where you can like reach other people very, very, very far away. I wonder why the mic is not picking up higher pitches. Yeah, might be the reason why. I'm too loud. You will was in the land that. So they yell at each other. They yell at each other. Do you wanna be my mate? Do you wanna mate? Far from the ocean.
Okay, I've hyped the whales up enough. We get it. They're huge, they're unstoppable, they're gigantic, they're every word in the thesaurus that means really big. So what can actually stop this creature? Well, for millions of years, nothing. That was until something bigger than the blue whale appeared. Us. No, not actually us. We're like 5 feet tall. The things we build.
We're 5 feet tall. With 5 feet. Isn't that like a bit like under the average height for an adult? I think a little bit under. The sound effect, yeah, that's the sound effect that killed me.
Us. We're like 5 feet tall. The things we build. Ship strikes are currently one of the leading causes of death for blue whales. When a blue whale is swimming near the surface and a modern steel cargo is coming right at it, the whale's sheer physical momentum means it cannot turn fast enough to dodge it. Remember that even though blue whales are big, modern cargo ships can be over 200,000 tons. Not pounds, tons.
Yeah.
This is a completely different scale. Metal doesn't need to follow biological gigantism rules. And remember that global underwater Wi-Fi network they use to find mates? Cargo ships and industrial ocean drilling produce massive amounts of low-frequency noise pollution. These human-made noises operate on the exact same acoustic frequencies that the whales use to speak to each other. We are essentially jamming their signals. A whale could scream at the top of its lungs into the void, trying to find a mate to reproduce, but because of the engines of global shipping fleets, no one can hear them. A blue whale could tail whip a megalodon and kill it. It could be so big that it could block a horde of orcas. But you can't really beat steel propellers and human industrialization. This, of course, isn't even to mention intentional whaling in history as well. Most ship strikes today obviously aren't intentional ramming into blue whales. When humans were seeking these guys out only around 100 years ago, tens of thousands were killed. Thankfully, commercial whaling was finally banned, and their numbers are slowly starting to creep up.
Protect the whales, don't kill
Populations for
them.
an animal this big take a long time to recover. They are giants. Yes, they are gentle giants too, unless provoked. But as the saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. As long as we just let blue whales exist though, they'll probably stay the biggest animal forever. Thank you again to Planet Wild for working with me on this video.
So we have to let the whales and stop using ships. Boats. Metal ways, execute the evils, execute boats. Let's see, how did blue whales get so big?
Blue whales are absolutely awe-inspiring. By all standards, they are the largest animals of all time. There's all these examples of giants in the fossil record. We have giant rodents, we have huge dinosaurs. We don't have the opportunity to study those animals in the way that we can study the modern giants. Today, we have the largest animals of all time throughout the entire history of life on Earth. By better studying these ocean giants, we can ensure that these species will persist for future generations.
Protect the whales, protect the animals, don't kill them.
The defining characteristic of a blue whale is that it's the biggest animal that's ever lived, certainly by mass, up to 140 tons of whale in one animal. And when you're up next to one of these things, you really see that. This whale just surfaces and then goes and goes and goes
Yeah.
and goes and goes.
You feel like it's going
And then you see
forever.
the flukes, and the flukes are 10 or 12 feet across.
It's widely recognized that body size is one of the most important determinants of how you function and how you interact with your environment. When you get bigger, your metabolism becomes much more efficient. So that means
Really?
you can fast for longer periods of time, and you can put on lipid stores very, very rapidly.
You can avoid predators better. You have a lower cost of transport. It's easier to walk or move long distances. You can potentially have longer lifespans because of that. But the downside is that it can take more energy, and that on land, there's a kind of a limit to how much mass you can actually hold on your legs.
Yeah,
If you're in water, you don't have.
you can't be too big on land, because if you are, your body is gonna have a hard time moving you around and like being able to do things. I live longer, I win. Nah. uh, uh. Back pain for the win. Why back pain?
To deal with gravity in the same way. You have the support of the aquatic medium, and that might allow you to evolve much larger size, and you don't have to bear that weight with limbs as you would on land.
The blue whale is essentially neutrally buoyant, meaning that they can just kind of float there. No matter how big you are, if your tissue is about the same density as water, you don't have that same mass of gravity laying on you. So the ocean allows for these big animals to exist. And what are the procedures and mechanics that allow them to get that big? It's been pretty well unknown until now.
One of my research questions is how whales got to be so big, and I'm choosing to answer that question using basic physical principles, one of which is called scaling. And so scaling is how something grows proportionally as its length increases. When the length of an object increases, the surface area squares and the volume cubes. So that's a basic thing that holds sizes of circles and sizes of cubes, but it also is true for things like bridges or bones. And so in this case, we apply it to an animal like a whale. We have found their body mass and their engulfment capacity, which are volumes, do not cube. So they engulf more than we expected. And that's what allows them, we think, to get so large.
Yeah, they can get so big when they eat.
Whales. There are two major groups of what we call the great whales. We have toothed whales and baleen whales. So toothed whales are well known for using echolocation to target single prey.
Well, bald.
Whales are
I am
filter
bald.
feeders, and they target patches of small-bodied prey. Blue whales are rorqual whales, and rorquals are characterized by their unique lunge filter feeding mechanism. So in contrast to other vertebrate filter feeders, which swim slowly forward and filter at really low, steady speeds, rorqual whales have this dynamic lunge filter feeding mechanism where they open their mouth to tremendous gape angles, and they have this huge expandable throat sac that it basically engulfs the water and prey. And then once the mouth closes around that prey-laden water, it pushes that water past the baleen plates that hang down from the top of the mouth, leaving the tremendous amount of prey inside the mouth.
Blue whales are migratory animals, so they're born in warmer tropical waters where they're with their mothers, learning how to feed in these waters.
Wait, but they were, I think it was the first video we saw. They talk about that the whales from the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere doesn't mix anymore. So like, how are they born to one place and they decide to go to another place? So they're still mixing. Or am I missing something? Am I missing something in my brain? I think. He lied. A liar.
So up in the northern hemisphere where you have big, dense patches of krill in the summertime, that's an ideal time for a blue whale to travel north and start feeding on these krill patches. They'll feed for 3 or 4 months, and during that time, they are building up energy. They're sometimes increasing their body mass by 40 or 50%, and then the whale will use that energy throughout the rest of the year when the food is not as good.
Studying blue whales is interesting because they're so mysterious in a way. There's still so much that we don't know, and just their sheer size inspires this sense of awe. So it's an animal that we see just for a few seconds at a time at the surface. Most of the time it's at depth. So what is it doing down there, and how can we figure that out?
Questions. We can watch this one, and then the last one will be the longest one.
World in itself. From octopuses to corals, life under the sea is radically different from that on land. One among the many intriguing life forms to exist in water is the blue whale. To prove that, here are 12 fascinating facts about blue whales.
Will there be new things?
1. Blue whales are the largest animals to have ever existed on the planet. Imagine an 8 to 10-story building. That's how long a blue whale measures from head to tail.
You see those buildings outside of your house? You see them? That's a blue whale.
On average, they can range between 80 feet to 100 feet long and can weigh up to 150 tons. The longest blue whale ever recorded was a female, measuring 110 feet and 28 inches. 2. Being so many...
It kind of makes sense that the females are bigger than the males, because like they need the space to store the baby. So and there's a lot of species that have the female bigger than the men's. They recorded you. I don't know.
Massive, the blue whale doesn't disappoint in other metrics either. Its tongue is as large as an adult elephant, the heaviest of any
That
other
big?
species. A blue whale's round heart can weigh about 400 pounds, about as much as a small piano or a Harley-Davidson bike. Its skull can occupy an entire room. 3. These mammals can produce a sound that is louder than a jet engine at takeoff, making them one among the loudest animals on Earth. Their calls can be up to 188 decibels loud, last 10 to 30 seconds, and can travel as much as 500 miles underwater.
Big
Some members of the
sounds.
species also communicate through songs
Oh, that's all
that
fits in the
consist
room.
of 4 notes each, like the
I'm
blue
okay
whales
because
in the
I'm a
Sri
half.
Lankan seas.
Remember, I'm a half
4.
blue whale, half human.
Contradictory to their
That's
size,
the
a
reason.
blue whale's
I'm
diet
still
consists
tall
mostly of
human,
small
but
crustaceans called krill
I can
that
fit in a
measure
normal
about 1
house.
to 2 centimeters on average. This is one of nature's ironic miracles.
Yeah, I'm
in itself.
50-50.
However, blue whales can consume up to 40 million krill, which would weigh about 4
No
tons
walls, no
a
roof.
day during peak feeding season. Talk about a gigantic appetite. 5. These water wonders do not have teeth. Instead, they have
They have
bristle-like
baleen.
balloons in their upper jaw that strain liquid and trap their prey. They gulp huge amounts of water that they hold in their belly, force it out of the 300 to 400 fibrous baleen plates, and swallow the thousands of krill trapped
Sometimes
in
whales,
between.
other time whales.
6. Since blue whales don't have teeth, scientists have found another way to estimate their age, looking at their earwax. Just like a tree's rings can tell its age, the layers of wax accumulated in a blue whale's ear canal can reveal how old it is.
Yeah, the
average
earplugs.
lifespan of these marine creatures is said to be 80 to 90 years. 7. Blue whale young are called calves and are born after a gestation period of about 11 months. At birth, a calf can measure 23 to 26 feet and weigh about 3 tons. These babies feed only on their mother's milk for the first 6 to 18 months after birth and can drink
That's
about
like
150 gallons
a little
day.
bit more than a
It
year.
is no wonder that these calves can gain about 200
Don't clean your ears.
pounds a
I
day.
clean my ears.
8.
I clean my ears. I am clean.
While other whale species are quite social, these large creatures are mostly solitary. They prefer swimming alone in the ocean or in pairs. Even then, they need their space, sometimes swimming several kilometers apart. However, during feeding season, as many as 60 whales may come together in areas where a large meal may be available. 9.
60 whales. Is that possible to have like 60 whales in the same place? I feel like that's a bit big number. So you wanna tell us the scientists are lying to us? But I'm washing my ears. I'm clean. Must be a family, a very big family.
Did you know that heat loss in water is 27 times more than that on land for the same temperature? Since blue whales have too little hair for insulation, nor do they have skin glands, they depend on their thick tissue called blubber for temperature
Blubber.
control. Blubber acts as a thermal insulator and makes up about 27% of a blue whale's body mass.
I
10.
see.
Given their
That's what-
size and speed,
That's what keep the whale warm and like protected from like shark and stuff like this. But how could they tell your age then? They can tell by teeth because I'm half human, so they can tell my age by the teeth.
blue whales have very few natural predators. In fact, the only known attacks on blue whales are by killer whales, orcas, which can be identified by the orca teeth scars on their body. The orcas work together, surrounding the blue whales from all sides to prevent them from escaping. Nevertheless, successful attacks on blue whales are very rare, and humans are still the largest threat. 11. Blue whales never really fall
But
asleep.
yeah, I'll be fine, I'll be
because
fine.
if they did, they could drown. They are conscious breathers who need to come to the surface of the water to breathe. They rest only one half of their brains at once. The other half stays awake to help them stay alive. 12. The invention of the exploding harpoon gun almost pushed blue whales to extinction in the 20th
bad.
century. It is estimated that whalers killed about 99% of them until they were declared an endangered species in the 1970s. At present, there are about 5,000 to 15,000 blue whales alive worldwide. What did you think about these gentle aqua giants? Which facts intrigued you the most? Let us know in the comments below.
If you enjoyed watching this,
Interesting, but I didn't learn that many things in this video. There were a lot of things that were already known from the others one we watched. That will bug me every time. You talk about... you talk about this? Boink? And the last one for today is the incredible whale species that actually exist. So we're gonna talk more about all the different species of the whales. And I think it could be interesting to know more about not only just blue whales, but like all the types.
beneath the mysterious expanse of our oceans lies some of the most magnificent creatures on Earth. Whales, with their immense size and captivating behaviors, come in many sizes and shapes. Join me for today's video. We're going to embark on a journey to discover the top 15 most incredible whale species in the world. Starting with number 15, the bowhead whale. The bowhead whale, some of the coolest whales around. They're predominantly found in the Arctic and subarctic regions, including the Arctic Ocean and the adjacent seas. They're perfectly suited for these frigid environments and have adapted to...
So there's like whales that only live in like certain places. Like there's whales specifically living in like the cold waters, and like I guess there are some only living in the more what's the name? Hotter waters.
life in the icy seas. For starters, they
Ice
have a thicker
type.
layer of blubber than their southern cohorts that
Oh,
insulates
those
them from
whales.
the harsh Arctic cold and stores energy for long migration.
They are a little bit funny to look at. Wait, let me move. Where's my... Here. As you can see, they're a little bit funny to look at. Because of like their face is like very specific. Like it's like a bit deformed. Goofy whale. Yeah, it's a goofy whale.
Bowheads also have a lower metabolic rate compared to other whales, allowing them to thrive in the cold waters and making their energy use highly efficient. And because they live in such icy locations, their massive bow-shaped skulls are the result of ice-breaking adaptation. In fact, it's one of their key distinguishing features. Bowhead whales are also known to sing, but their songs are unlike the famous songs of the humpback whales, as they use a complex series of clicks and chirps for communication.
Clicks?
They have the largest mouth of any animal, capable of taking in enormous volumes of water while feeding. Bowheads are among the longest living mammals on the planet. These giants can reach lengths of up to 60 feet and can weigh as much as 100 tons. But their most astonishing feature, however, is their incredible longevity. Bowhead whales are known to live for over 200 years, making them some of the
200?
oldest mammals in the world. Some individuals are believed to have lived for more than 211 years. That is a remarkable testament to their resilience. Who knows what secrets of the world the bowheads hold? Number 14. Narwhal. The narwhal is without
The narwhal is a whale? I didn't know the narwhal was a whale.
doubt one of the most recognizable sea creatures. It's that long spiral tusk which can grow to lengths of up to 10 feet. So is this whale an aquatic unicorn? Well, not quite. This tusk is actually an elongated tooth, and it's predominantly found in males, although some females have smaller versions. While the tusk is one of its defining characteristics, the narwhal is typically gray or mottled in color, blending in seamlessly with the Arctic environment. While the exact purpose of the
Narwhal is a tooth whale. Okay.
narwhal's tusk isn't fully understood, it's believed to have served several functions, including sensing changes in the environment, hunting prey like squid and fish, and possibly for social interactions. They inhabit icy waters, specifically in the Atlantic and Russian Arctic regions, as well as the Canadian Arctic. They're known to travel in groups or pods and are frequently seen in these frigid seas. The whales possess
They
a unique
battle with their
adaptation known as
swords.
counter-shading. Their skin is darker on their upper side and lighter on the underside, helping them to camouflage them from predators below. And
Yeah, they're
potential
Baleen
threats from
version and
above.
they're the
They're
one
also
with
known
tooth.
for their impressive diving ability, capable of diving to depths of up to
Imagine
5,000
being
feet,
stabbed.
making them one of the deepest diving
You
marine
die.
mammals. Thanks to their unique shape, color, and tusks, these amazing whales have inspired many myths and legends throughout history, often being associated with magical and mystical properties. And perhaps they were even considered real-life sea monsters at one point.
And you wanna know why they have a unicorn, like a horn on their head? It's because they need it to break the ice. They can break ice underwater with it. That's why they have a tooth, like a very big horn.
Number 13, the beluga whale.
Beluga.
The beluga whale, also known as the canary of the sea, thanks to its melodic vocalizations, it's one of the most incredible whale species to ever grace the seven seas. Belugas are known for their big bubble heads and behavior, making them a popular subject of fascination. They're known for their bright white coloration, which stands out against the blue backdrop of the ocean. This coloration helps them blend into the Arctic and subarctic environments, where they're primarily found. Their unique feature is their bulbous forehead, called a melon, which is flexible, even squishy, and helps them communicate
It's a
using
melon.
variety of sounds. These sounds can range from clicks and whistles to complex songs, which are integral to their social interactions and echolocation. Belugas are highly social animals and often travel in pods, which can vary in size from a few individuals to hundreds. These pods allow them to protect each other from predators and cooperate in hunting for prey, including fish, squid, and crustaceans. Their flexible neck vertebrae enable them to turn their heads in all directions, not unlike an owl, aiding in their hunting efforts. These bright white belugas are also known for their acrobatic displays, such as breaching,
They're playing with
sky hopping, and
balloon.
even somersaults. These behaviors are thought to be a form of play, communication, and potentially a way to dislodge skin-shedding parasites. Unlike many other whale species, they're known for their ability to swim both forward and backward. Number 12, the southern
Yeah, and I feel like the beluga whales have like very big amount of fats in them. Like you can see it on the videos. Like here you see like all the layers like moving. I think there's like it's just a big huge amount of fat. Since they like live in like very cold environments, they need a lot of fat to keep it to eat. They can pay
swim both
taxes.
forward and backward. Number 12, the southern bottlenose whale. The southern bottlenose is a fun little and sometimes lesser known whale. Its standout feature is that bulbous forehead. Now, this melon-shaped structure contains
melon-shaped
specialized tissues
head.
that play a crucial role in echolocation and communication. These whales produce a variety of clicks and whistles, allowing them to navigate the seas, chat with each other, and find prey in the depths. Males can reach lengths of up to 25 feet, while females are generally smaller. These whales have a dark gray to
Interesting.
brownish black body with a lighter underside. They're known for their distinctive...
So for the species of whales, the women are smaller and the men are bigger. The whistle?
long,
I don't know.
robust beaks that give them their common name. And like any good whale, the southern bottlenose exists in pods and takes part in plenty of playful social behavior. Southern bottlenose are deep-diving creatures capable of reaching depths of up to 8,000 feet or more during their foraging. They primarily feed on a diet of squid, fish, and other deep-sea organisms. To find their prey, they use echolocation, sending out sound waves and listening for the echoes to locate
They are
and
blue
catch
whale,
their
I
food.
know.
Conservation efforts for the southern bottlenose whale are challenging due to their remote and inaccessible habitats. They're not typically targeted by commercial whalers, but they still face threats from entanglement in fishing gear and potential disturbances from human activities, such as ship traffic and underwater noise pollution. Climate change and habitat degradation also pose long-term threats to these remarkable creatures. Number 11, Cuvier's beaked whale.
Oh.
There are plenty of creatures lurking in the depths of the ocean. Typically, though, we think of scary, nightmarish creatures staring back at us with their maws wide open, but no one ever expects the Cuvier's beaked whale to be swimming beneath them. These illustrious whales often remain hidden in deep waters and reveal
not the
very little
wolf.
about their life. For starters, Cuvier's
I'm
beaked
not a
whales hold the
dog.
record for the deepest and longest dives of any marine mammal, capable of descending to depths of over 9,800 feet and staying submerged for as long as 4 hours. This remarkable attribute allows them to access prey in the deepest parts of the ocean, such as giant squid and other deep-sea creatures that we humans rarely get to witness. One of their most intriguing characteristics is their elusive behavior. They're seldom seen by humans, as they typically avoid boats and have a secretive, reclusive nature, making them challenging subjects for scientific studies. But we do know that the beaked whale's biggest predators are none other than us. While the population status of Cuvier's beaked whales remains poorly understood, they face threats from human activities, such as underwater noise pollution from military sonar and shipping, entanglement in fishing gear, and marine debris ingestion. Strandings and beachings often happen near naval bases where sonar may be in use. And Cuvier's beaked whales have been observed in Hawaii, avoiding diving for food or avoiding an area where sonar is used. Number 10, fin whale. Balaenoptera physalis, better known as the fin whale, has been known to humans for centuries, with documented sightings and mentions in historical
Why they
records
call
dating
them the
back to
fin
ancient
whale? What's that
civilizations.
different
They were
between?
named fin whales because of the prominent dorsal fin located about 2/3 the way down their long, streamlined bodies. The modern taxonomy and scientific understanding of this species have evolved over time, with advancements in marine biology and in genetics. The fin whale belongs to a family which includes other baleen whales like the blue whale and humpback whale. Within this family, it is the second largest species on Earth after the blue whale. Now, fin whales are renowned for their impressive swimming. They can reach speeds of up to 25 to 35 miles an hour in short bursts, earning them the nickname of the greyhounds of the sea. In terms of size,
They can
are
speed,
the
but,
second largest
like,
whale
swim
species,
very
with adults
fast.
typically reaching lengths of 60 to 80 feet and weighing up to 70 tons. So yeah, they're big and they're fast. Thank God these whales are gentle giants. Fin whales are filter feeders that primarily consume krill, small schooling fish, and various plankton organisms. They employ a unique feeding method called lunge feeding. This means they are accelerating to those high speeds and opening wide to engulf large quantities of prey and water. Now, very few predators target these adult fin whales due to their immense size, but they can fall victim to orca attacks. Fin whales are cosmopolitan and can be found in all major oceans, from the polar regions to the equator. They're migratory, with some populations moving to higher latitudes during the summer and returning to warmer waters in the winter. Their habitat does vary depending on the time of year, and they're often seen in both offshore and coastal waters.
I see. So the difference is this: the fin whale is like more thin and have like this like fin. Like kind of look like a bit more like a shark fin. Time to drink water. Num num num.
Number 9. The sei whale.
Sei
The sei
whale.
whale, or Balaenoptera borealis, is one of the lesser-known baleen whales that inhabits the world's oceans. They belong to the family Balaenopteridae and are part of the suborder Mysticeti, which includes all baleen whales. They're closely related to other large whale species such as the blue whales and fin whales, but much less is known about them. But what we do know is that sei whales are the third largest baleen whale, following the blue and fin. They typically reach lengths of about 45 to 60 feet and weigh between 15 to 20 tons. Sei whales have a worldwide distribution, inhabiting oceans across the world. Their adaptability to various marine environments and temperatures allow them to thrive in diverse oceanic conditions. They are incredibly adaptable, but while so many species of whale live amongst large pods, the sei whales are comparatively solitary creatures. They're usually observed alone or in groups of just 2 to 5 individuals. They're considered active swimmers capable of reaching speeds up to 34 miles an hour. Their agility and speed make them unique among large whales.
That feel like I thought like if you get bigger, you get like less speed. You have less speed. You get like less speed, but you feel like there's still some whales that can go like pretty fast.
Whales, allowing them to swiftly chase and capture prey. But because they tend to ride solo, that speed allows them to cover much more ground at a much faster rate. However, sei whales are considered an endangered species. They face numerous conservation challenges due to historical whaling and ongoing threats from entanglement in fishing gear, ship strikes, and habitat degradation. Number 8. Gray whales. The gray whales are stellar marine mammals known for many things, but their remarkable migrations continue to stun researchers. Gray whales were first documented by Western scientists in the 18th century. They're named after the Danish zoologist Daniel Frederick Eschridt, who contributed to the early scientific knowledge of the species. Robustus in their scientific name refers to their robust build.
Yeah, they have like something on their head, like
around 30 to 40 tons.
It's like a little bit
arched. Gray coloration with
so is a
patches
fast
of
whale?
barnacles and scars from
I
parasites.
don't know.
They've got a streamlined body
I'm
with no
not
dorsal fin,
I'm not
instead featuring a
I'm not
series of
slow.
knuckles along their back. These gray whales
But I
are
won't say I'm
renowned for their
fast.
extraordinary annual migration, which is one of the longest migrations of any mammal. They travel approximately
I'm
10
average,
to
I guess.
12,000 miles round trip between their feeding grounds in the Arctic and their breeding and calving grounds in the warm waters of Baja California. Migration is never easy though, even for something this big. This migration is a perilous undertaking, with many challenges along the way, including potential encounters with predators and human-related threats like ships and entanglement in fishing gear. In fact, humans and orca are the gray whale's biggest threats. Gray whales are primarily bottom feeders, feeding on a diet of small crustaceans such as amphipods, which they filter from the sea floor using their baleen plates. They use their mouths to create depressions in the sediment, from which they suck up their prey. And apart from their insane migration, their most unique feature is the double blowholes on their back, producing a V-shaped spout when they surface to breathe. And when they dive, you might see their flukes, which are broad and typically quite colorful due to the crustacean of barnacles. Number 7. Minke whale. When we
Minky.
think of
Monkey whales.
we tend of behemoths like
The
blue
monkey
whale,
whales.
but there are plenty of smaller whales, with the minke being some of the smallest. So how
Minke.
small are they? Well, when these baleen whales reach adulthood, they typically reach lengths of 23 to 33 feet and weigh anywhere from 5 to 10 tons. They have a streamlined body with a pointed snout and a distinctive white band on each flipper, often referred to as the minke mark. The little minke was recognized as a distinct species in the mid-19th century. They were named after a Norwegian whaler named Minke, and their taxonomy has evolved over time with help of modern genetic analysis. Like so many others, minke whales are a cosmopolitan and can be found in oceans worldwide, from the Arctic and Antarctic to temperate and tropical seas. They do, however, prefer colder waters and are often associated with the edges of ice packs and productive feeding areas. Speaking of feeding, these little guys
Another
feed on
one
other
from
small
cold
organisms like
water.
krill and small schooling fish, typically baleen food. They employ a lunge feeding technique where they accelerate towards their prey with their mouths wide open, engulfing massive quantities of food and water, which is then filtered through their baleen plates. Minke whales are notable for their elusive nature. They often have quick and unpredictable surfacing patterns, which can make them challenging to observe and study. Their size and appearance distinguish them from larger baleen whales, and their agility and speed set them apart from other members of their family. Despite being so tough to find, humans have historically hunted minke whales for their meat and blubber, and they remain subject to some commercial hunting.
I feel like the biggest predator for all whales is always the human or the orca sometimes. Bad humans.
Particularly in certain regions. Number 6. The pygmy sperm whale. The pygmy sperm whale, Kogaia breviceps, is a small, enigmatic cetacean species that inhabits the world's oceans. Now, these whales belong to the family Kogidae and are part of the toothed whale suborder Odontoceti. As the name would imply, pygmy sperm whales are among the smallest of the toothed whales, with adults typically reaching lengths of 9 to 11 feet and weighing between 600 to 800 pounds. They have a distinctive appearance with a dark gray to bluish gray body and a...
They are very smaller than the other whales. So what are you then, and how did your parents make you? Magic? Magic. Yeah. Magic is the answer.
The lower jaw is small and lacks the teeth except for 2 pairs of small pointed teeth in the lower jaw.
Magic.
These little guys are found in warm and temperate waters worldwide, primarily in offshore areas and continental shelves. They're known for their preference for deep waters and are often associated with areas where water temperatures are above 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Their diet primarily consists of squid, small fish, and crustaceans, which they capture using their sharp pointed teeth. Pygmy sperms are known to forage at various depths in the water column, often diving to find their prey. They are elusive and seldom observed in the wild, and they're known for their solitary or small group behavior, often seen alone or in groups of up to 6. They're generally slow swimmers, capable of brief bursts of speed when threatened. And one of their most remarkable features is the spermaceti organ located in their head. This organ contains a waxy substance believed to play a role in buoyancy control and echolocation. It can be expelled to create a smokescreen-like effect when threatened.
Smokescreen?
Pygmy sperm whales exhibit some unique behaviors. They're known to engage in junking, a behavior where they release their feces and regurgitated stomach contents as a defensive mechanism. They may also eject a dark reddish-brown liquid when threatened or stressed. Is that a gross tactic? Well, yeah, but is it effective? Yep, absolutely. Number 5. Humpback whales.
Yeah, those are very known for their singing.
They're incredibly substantial in size, with adults reaching lengths of 40 to 50 feet and weighing between 25 to 45 tons. They have long, narrow pectoral fins, which can extend to nearly 1/3 of their body length. The whales are often recognized by the barnacles that adorn their rostrum, flippers, and dorsal fins. These barnacles provide a unique and ever-changing pattern that scientists use for individual identification. Now, humpback whales are renowned for their long-distance migrations. They travel between their cold water feeding areas, where they consume vast quantities of krill and small fish, and the warm water
They have a lot of
where they mate and
scars.
give birth. Some populations of humpbacks undertake migrations of up to 16,000 miles annually. But what truly sets these whales apart is their song. These creatures sing incredibly complex and hauntingly beautiful songs. They can last for up to 20 minutes and are unique to each population. Every song, though, consists of a series of vocalizations that are organized into phrases and
White
themes.
Fan Club
Remarkably, all
members.
males within a specific population will sing the same song, making it a unique cultural trait for that group. These underwater songs are powerful, too, with low-frequency sounds that can travel mind-blowing distances beneath the waves. All of this raises a question, though. Why exactly do the humpback whales sing? What are they saying? Well, theories abound, all of which hold equal weight and validity. One prevailing theory suggests that the songs are primarily used in mating rituals. During the breeding season, males sing to attract females and communicate their fitness and availability. Another theory is that
Fitness.
songs are a form
Yeah, I'm
of
very fit.
competition among
Check me
males,
out.
which male aims to create a more appealing and intricate song to outcompete rival suitors. Songs may also serve as a form of communication between whales in the vicinity. They could convey information about feeding opportunities, navigation, or even the presence of predators. Number 4. Southern right whale.
Southern right
Southern
whale?
right whales were named by whalers who considered them the right whales to hunt. This was because they are slow swimmers, tend to stay close to the coast, and when killed, they float, making them easier to harvest. It's a name with an incredibly sad history. They were extensively hunted during the whaling era, leading to dramatic population declines. Fortunately, hunting was banned in the 20th century, and their populations have been slowly recovering. Southern right whales are a species of baleen whale and belong to the Eubalaena genus, which includes 2 other right whale species, the North Atlantic right whale and the North Pacific right. Southern right whales, like other baleen whales, can hold their breath for an impressive duration. They can stay submerged for approximately 20 to 30 minutes, depending on factors such as activity and the depth of the dive. Not the longest amount of time we've seen today, but still an impressive feat nevertheless. But what really makes them stand out amongst fellow aquatic giants is their tail sailing. Tail sailing is a relatively rare behavior exhibited by southern rights. This behavior involves the whale raising its flukes out of the water and holding them upright, often for extended periods. While the exact reasons for tail sailing remain the subject of scientific study, several theories have been proposed to explain this behavior. One theory suggests that tail sailing could help regulate the whale body's temperature. By exposing their flukes to the air, southern right whales may cool down or warm up depending on their environment. This could be especially useful in regions with extreme temperature fluctuations, such as coastal waters. Tail sailing may have a communicative purpose. It's possible that by displaying their flukes above the water, whales are sending signals to other whales in the area. Others say that these are mating rituals, and some believe the southern right whale is tail sailing because it's fun. Number 3. Sperm whales. The big-headed blower. Sperm whales belong to the family Physeteridae and are part of the toothed whale suborder Odontoceti. They are the largest of the toothed whales and are known for their distinctive features, like that massive head of theirs. Sperm whales are among the largest animals on Earth, the males reaching lengths of 50 to 60 feet and females being somewhat smaller. Their most iconic feature is the massive square-shaped head, which can account for up to 1/3 of their total body length. This head houses a substance known as spermaceti. A spermaceti is a waxy, translucent substance that's been a subject of fascination for decades, and its purpose in sperm whales has long been the subject of scientific inquiry. This substance is composed primarily of esters of fatty acids and aliphatic alcohols. These compounds give it that waxy consistency at ambient temperatures and a liquid form at body temperature. But the thing is, nobody really knows what it does, not for sure at least. One hypothesis suggests that spermaceti helps regulate the whale's buoyancy. The whale can control the temperature of the spermaceti to change its density, allowing it to float or dive to different depths.
Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for the raid. How was the stream? We are currently watching some videos about whales and like learning stuff about them. It's just a chill momento. Welcome, welcome. I don't know what we just commented, but I'll still here pushing. I'm just watching some whale things and learning things. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. And welcome to the puddle jumpers. My brain is like eh. But welcome. You're right, that's what I was thinking about. When you were talking about wait. What were you talking about? Just some yeah, we watch whales. I mean whales videos and facts to learn more. But a lot of the video we watched were essentially talking about how big they are and how they eat. Now, cause we have French in my chat that we always bully. I said I'm gonna read another French, but she's not like, or she's a based French. Based. Wait. Yeah, I'm French, but What is the difference between French and based French? What's the difference? How can French be base? Basic. Oh, cool. Ah, I see. I didn't know that mean cool. Yeah, learning about me and every whales, not only blue whales, but also all the other types. I didn't know there were that many. So welcome everybody. Hope you enjoy a little bit staying here. We're close to the end of this video. I might try to find another video after this one, and then we're gonna end, cause I don't want to keep like watching video things and learning things, because like we already have learned a lot today. So when people say that you have base states, they are commenting. Okay, I see. Not you, German. That's an interesting question, actually. I don't know. I'm gonna lurk and eat a bit of relax after stream, but I have fun. Okay. I feel targeted. It's fine. See, this is the uncool French. What is uncool? Everybody is normal. There's no version like more cooler or uncooler person. Everyone got here from the right. Hello. Welcome. Just here for monitoring purposes. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the paddle jumpers. Welcome. She's the bad French. How is she the bad French? What is the bad version? I don't. What is the bad version? Is it like the type of like the type of guys like they wear like sports outfits and like drink alcohol all days and like talk about food and like footballs and like women, those type of people. Like this, if it's a good that cool German and then it's the bad German. Wait, if it is not German, isn't it Italian? When do you drink alcohol all day? No. Cheers! Oh no, drinking alcohol all day. But women, yeah, check out. Yeah. I remember. You're not German. You're Italian. I'm gonna drink a bit of water. It was an example. It's a bad example. You can't say somebody is like, yeah, you're German when they're not German. Bum, bum, bum. I'm gonna continue the video. Let's go. We're currently on watching about the sperm whale. Interesting name, but it does exist. Technically, I'm half German, half Italian. Oh. Half right.
Some scientists have proposed that spermaceti may play a role in echolocation, the system whales use for
interesting video,
navigation and hunting. By changing the consistency of this spermaceti, whales might be able to manipulate sound transmission in water. Another theory suggests that liquid form of spermaceti might aid the sperm whale in deep dives. As the whale descends, the spermaceti may become more liquid and assist with the compression of the organs in the head. Sperm whales also possess the largest brain of any animal on Earth. Their brain
They have the biggest brain. They have the biggest brain. Big brain. Biggest brains. See, that's why you're a big brain, not me. Those are sperm whales. I am a blue whale. That we are a different a little bit different. There's a difference. The French or the whales? The whales, not the French.
can weigh up to 20 pounds, and it's associated with complex behaviors and communication. These big brains also mean that sperm whales are highly social animals, typically organized into family groups led by a mature female. These groups can include females and
the leaders of the sperm whales are females, not men's. Nice. See, not every places have like men's as the leader. Women can be leaders too.
their young, as well as juvenile males. Number 2. Orca. Thanks to the all-time greats like Shamu and Free Willy, Orcanis orca killer whales, or just orca, are one of the most iconic marine creatures on our planet. While they are widely referred to as killer whales, the name can be misleading, as they're actually the largest member of the dolphin family. Orcas are robust and powerful animals.
I was like, why do they put it in the video? They are more dolphins. Orcas are dolphins. They're not whales. They are in the dolphin family, not the whales.
Males typically growing to lengths of 20 to 26 feet, and females slightly smaller. Aside from their coloration, orcas are easily recognizable thanks to their dorsal fins. In fact, some male dorsal fins can reach heights of up to 6 feet. Orcas are apex predators. They're known for their diverse and adaptable diet too. Their prey includes fish, squid, and marine mammals. They're famous for their ability to hunt larger marine mammals like seals, sea lions, and even some baleen whales. Different populations of orcas around the world have specialized diets and hunting techniques, but they all have one thing in common: 56 conical-shaped teeth used for capturing and holding prey. Orcas employ various hunting techniques, such as cooperative hunting, where they work together in coordinated groups. For example, some groups have developed a strategy known as carousel feeding, where they swim in a circle to create waves that then wash prey into the water. Others use their tail to create waves that knock seal off ice floes. They're obviously incredibly smart and have some of the largest brains in the animal kingdom, particularly
another big brain animal
and complex behaviors. The average orca brain can weigh around 15 pounds. They're also known for their complex social structures and strong family bonds. They live in matrilineal groups led by older females. Now, these family groups can be part of larger communities or pods, and they often travel and hunt together. No two orca are alike. Like us, these mammals exhibit their own cultural behaviors that are passed down from one generation to the next. This includes specialized hunting techniques, unique vocalizations, and even regional dietary preferences. These cultural traits contribute to the diversity observed among different orcas worldwide. Number 1. The blue whale. Not only is it one of the most majestic, most incredible animals in the world, but the blue whale, Balaenoptera musculus, is also the largest animal on Earth.
It's
As the largest animal on Earth, adult individuals typically reach lengths of 70 to 90 feet and weigh as much as 200.
Wait, there's a problem. That's not a blue whale. I'm sorry, but that's a humpback whale. That's wrong. That's a humpback. That's not a blue. That's not a blue whale.
Their tongue alone can weigh up to 5 tons. To put these numbers into perspective, the weight of a single blue whale is roughly the same as 33 fully grown African elephants, or 1,300 average-sized people.
They keep showing the humpback whales. You did bad research, the person that made the video. Bad research, that's the humpback whale, that's not the blue whale.
Their sheer
they
lied.
Is
comparable to the
They're
length
lying.
Of 3 school buses parked end to end, or around 3/4 of the length of a basketball court. And with a body that big, the blue whale is gonna...
That's not the blue whale. The blue whale doesn't have this part here and those here. That's different. Left on tongue, yeah, that very big tongue. Very heavy.
need one big heart to keep it going. The heart of a blue whale dances around 1,300 pounds, and it's the size of a
Isekai
car.
him. I'm gonna
And
isekai you,
aorta can be large
bruh.
enough for a human to crawl through. Despite being so large, blue whales primarily feed on krill and small fish via filter feeding, using baleen plates in their mouths to
Here it is one. Here it's a blue whale. Here it's a blue whale.
trap their prey while expelling the excess water. When you weigh 200 tons, that means
Here
you need
too.
to take on about 8,000 pounds of food a day and consume about 1.5 million calories a day. But to filter out all of that food, the blue whale is taking on about 2,200 gallons in one mouthful. Talk about a big gulp. It's important to note that blue whales engage in episodic feeding, where they gorge themselves on krill during the feeding season and then rely on their fat reserves during their migration to breeding areas. Their feeding patterns are closely tied to the availability of their primary prey, krill. Now, despite their size, the blue whale does have predators. Orcas typically target blue whale calves, as they're smaller, less experienced, and more vulnerable than the adult blue whales. The orca will chase blue whales for hours or even days in an attempt to exhaust the calf by disrupting its breathing patterns and movements. I'll see you guys next time.
Watch our animals playlist for
You know pizza are pies? No, I didn't know. Pizza are pizzas. Pizza, pizza. Pizza equal pizza. I'm gonna try to find one more video. Well, facts. No, not this. We can watch stuff about the humpback whales.
Today on Animal Fact Files, we're discussing humpback whales. The humpback whale gets its common name from the obvious dorsal fin that protrudes from its back. Each individual humpback whale has a unique dorsal fin, and this, along with the ridges and patterns along their tail, helps researchers and observers identify individual humpbacks. They also get their common name from their behavior of forming a hump in their back before making a dive. Like all
they
whales, humpback whales
curbing
are
themselves.
mammals. Among the mammals alive today, humpback whales make some of the longest migrations. A single trip from feeding waters
Go to your settings and put auto breathing on.
3,000 miles.
Auto breathing
All
on.
of this can be traversed in just
Install a
one
program
month's
to be able to auto breathe.
Though there are always exceptions, and humpback whales living in the Arabian Sea don't migrate and remain in the same place year-round. Humpback whales are found in almost all parts of the oceans around the world, and they have
Settings are best since last development. Then install a new program.
These are generally a coastal species, though their travels can take them far from land. The humpback whale is a baleen whale. It has plates of baleen that hang from its upper jaw and trap prey inside. The humpback whale has grooves along its throat down past its pectoral fins, which you might call its flippers.
Flippers.
These grooves allow the whale to expand its mouth wide and take in lots of seawater. Like other mammals, a humpback whale can't swallow a lot of seawater. It would dehydrate them. So they push the seawater out of their mouth through the baleen. Small animals that were in the seawater can't pass through the baleen, so they become trapped in the whale's mouth and are then swallowed once the seawater has all been expelled.
Wait, I just think about it, but what does happen, for anything that live underwater, those species of fish, animals, whales, dolphins, whatever, do they drink water? Do they drink water? Big question, do they drink water? And if so, do they drink the ocean water? Or any other type of water? Which question me, how do they get the other type of waters? They wait until it rains and they are hanging over the sea and like waiting, their mouth open, waiting for the rain to fall. I don't think so. They get it from the food they eat. Maybe. I don't know. The only thing I know is I'm going to bed now. Okay, have a good night. Bye bye. It's just a bit confusing.
This is how all baleen whales eat. They're giant.
Remember to breathe. Yeah, remember to breathe.
Fascinatingly, these whales, being some of the largest animals alive, eat some of the smallest animals there are. Krill make up a portion of a humpback whale's diet, and they also eat other small animals that get caught in their maw, like fish and cephalopods. Surprisingly, these gigantic animals don't eat throughout the entire year. An adult humpback whale ranges in length from 36 to over 50 feet long. That's about the length of a school bus, or even longer at their largest size.
A school bus
Their
swimming.
young are the largest. Humpback whales are unique in the whale world for having the longest pectoral fins of all whale species. A humpback whale's flippers can reach almost a third of their entire length, meaning they can be upwards of 15 feet long. That's about the length of your average car. So, next time you're standing next to a sedan or small SUV, remember that a humpback whale's flipper would reach from its front bumper to its back. While you're at it, consider that newborn humpback whales reach the same length. And while humpback whales don't quite compete with the largest living animal, the blue whale, they can certainly still boast as some of the heavyweights of the world. On average, an adult humpback weighs 35 tons.
35
It's about
tons.
the same as 6 full-grown African elephants.
6 full-grown elephants.
Humpback whales stop eating for periods.
That's a lot of elephants.
While in their breeding waters, some humpback whales stop eating entirely. The colder waters where they feed are rich in food, but the tropical waters where they breed don't offer the same fare. Generally speaking, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere humpback whales do not interact with one another. Their migrations are opposite as the seasons in the hemispheres are opposite.
So they really never see each other's. They're like, maybe they know they exist, both exist, but they never interact with each other, so they don't mix up. So that mean for the blue whale it's the same thing. I remember they yell at each other, yeah.
This can even be seen in their appearance, where southern hemisphere humpback whales have more white patterns along their sides compared to the darker northern hemisphere humpbacks. Humpback whales travel to their tropical breeding waters during winter and spend the coldest parts of the year in the warmest parts of the world. Here, they'll court, mate, and give birth. Humpback whale males use their song to court.
They're yelling in the water.
Are specific and unique to different parts of the world. This means that a humpback from the northern Pacific will have a different song from a southern Indian Ocean-dwelling humpback. Here is an example of the humpback whale's song. Did you know only the male humpback whales sing? In a specific population, this song
Only males that sing. The women doesn't sing. Ah. There's no way only the men sings. So you male? I'm not a male. I checked my pants. Last time I would go to the bathroom, I was a woman.
Changes only slightly over time. The song lasts about half an hour and is repeated for hours
in there?
on end to entice a group of females. Like sea lions, male humpback whales compete for a harem of ladies with which to mate. Humpback whales.
Wait. Humpback whales have a harem of ladies? That's what they said?
With which to mate.
Wait.
Compete for a harem of ladies with which to mate.
A harem of ladies. Yeah. They're very lucky. They have a huge amount of women. Well, I'm not a man, I'm a woman.
Mate. Humpback whales reach reproductive maturity around 5 years of age, but males may take longer to actually begin breeding because of this competition. Humpback whales congregate in breeding grounds to mate and feeding grounds to catch food, but in general, they travel alone or spaced far apart. A female gestates for almost a year. She will
Almost a
then spend
year?
the next year focused on raising her baby and avoid breeding, so female humpback whales only breed every other year. Her baby nurses anywhere from 6 to 10 months. Their mother's milk helps them grow substantially in their first year, and her protection keeps them safe from potential predators. Humpback whale milk is upwards of 60% fat. For comparison, human milk is about 2% fat. Predators who attack a young humpback or even a weak adult include killer whales, false killer whales, and sharks. Humans also pose a threat to humpback whales. Whaling caused huge population losses to all whale species and has since been outlawed in most parts of the world. Humans still harm these giant animals, however, through run-ins with boats, entanglement in fishing gear, and water pollution. While it's unknown how long a humpback whale can live, it's estimated they may survive 50 to 80 years old.
That's a bit
Because they're
less than the
mammals,
blue
humpback
whale.
whales require air to breathe. They take in and release air through blowholes on the top of their head, which kind of act like a nose. Though it should be noted that humpback whales have a terrible, if any, sense of smell. Here's an example of a humpback whale blowhole in action.
Jet of wetters.
They can reach top swimming speeds over 15 miles per hour, but average something closer to 5 miles per hour. They most frequently remain towards the water's surface, diving to about 20 feet below the waves, though they can dive deeper. These dives last anywhere from 4 to 20 minutes. Something cool about humpback whales is that they have a fascinating feeding strategy known as bubbled net feeding. These mammals will swim below a large population of prey and release bubbles in a circle around the prey. This traps the prey in a single spot. The whale, or whales if it's a group effort, then swims up from below the prey with a wide open mouth and takes in as much seawater as it can fit. This is a quick way to consume a lot of food all at once. In a single day, one adult humpback whale may eat more than a ton of food.
A ton of
Some
food.
other awe-inspiring humpback whale behavior involves their breaching. Like great white sharks, humpback whales can jump fully out of the water. The whale swims up fast and propels itself over the water's surface before splashing back
Yeah,
down
that's the
into
type of
the
whale that
water.
like to jump.
It's not fully understood why humpback whales do this. It may be part of mating, but then that doesn't explain why young whales perform this behavior. It may just be for fun.
Yeah, just for
For more
fun.
facts on humpback whales, check out the links below. Give a thumbs up if you learned something new today. Thank you to our patrons, Spikes.
And then the cat face. You need a bit of glasses. So we humpback whales? No. I am a blue whale. Look, I'm blue. I'm dark blue, but I'm blue. Get like and it was a humpback whale fact. Why are they called humpbacks? Because of the name puddling. No, we're not paddling. We are puddle. With puddle jumpers. We are all type of whales. I wanted to see something. I want to see. Let me. Lemon shark. That's the type of shark Cherin is inspired from. The lemon shark. No, not the plushie, not the plushie. That's the lemon version of Cherin. Here, you can see more. The short she posted with the sharks knowing the shark. Well, yeah, I saw it. It's super adorable. They were like nom 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 nom. Okay. Backflip. Blah. Blah. I'm gonna check real quick message. I got a notification, but I think it's my own notification. Yeah, it's my own notification. I got a notification. It's my own. Yeah. It's just me. Thank you for educating me. We learned a lot today. Yeah, it was interesting. I wasn't feeling like playing games, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch stuff about whales, and we're gonna learn stuff all together. Real. Hey, everybody has milkers if they're women. So I hope everybody enjoyed this stream. I enjoyed myself a lot. It was very interesting to watch so many things about whales. And I might make a video about it. I try. I'm gonna download the VOD and I'm gonna try to make a video on YouTube about it. I'll see how it goes. So I see everybody tomorrow maybe? I don't know. If I'm editing, no. I'm not sure. If I'm editing tomorrow, I don't think I will be able to stream. Because I will focus on the editing. So... Maybe Sunday then. And if Sunday there is no day, I'm still editing. So I'll see. Maybe Sunday. So I see everybody. I guess the next time. Bye bye. Have a good day or good night. Bye 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 bye. And also thanks for the raid. That was very kind. Thank you again. And all the follows. Thank you. And bye bye. Bye 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 bye.